All right. So this is the first podcast from Jits Monkey Studio. We have Nick Farah and David Knox on. Nick Farah is a jiu-jitsu teacher that I've trained with for about a year now. And Dave Knox is just some smart motherfucker that came by. Normally I talk about sponsors here, but I don't have any. The only people really working with me right now are Foresight for the Blind, who you can find at foresightfortheblind.com, or the link will be in the description below. They're a Toronto-based band, and they're letting me use their music for free, so you'll hear that once we get started. So yeah, if you want to get involved and, cross-promote, give me some money, I'll give you some money, whatever you want to do. I probably won't give you any money because I don't have any. But I will take your money, and I will whore myself out and give you all the time you want right here, right at the beginning. And then we'll get into the crazy shit after. Yeah, so this is the first one. So how are you guys doing? All right, here's Foresight. I'm done talking. For now. Eat a bag of shit. I'm lonely. Yep.
All right.
All right.
How did that determine?
Because there's a little bar.
Oh, very good, very good. All right.
All right,
so
now
this is
show us the goods.
this is the above shot.
We're setting the bar high. This is the first. This is the third first
This
one.
is the above.
The first week
shot.
that I met this guy, he took a dump in front of our entire tree planting crew.
That's the first.
You get
shot. Is that good?
Wow. It was our
gonna
first
edit
shift.
this out.
It was our first shift. We have this morning meeting where everybody stands around. Our boss tells us what the game plan is and all of this stuff. Meanwhile, Nick fucking disappears, not even behind a log, just like across a ditch.
No, there was.
Like, he starts squatting right there.
Okay, there was like a log in front of me, so you couldn't see. Like,
we stop
my
using the word
parts.
log.
You could see, you could see my legs. You could see the logs I was dropping, and you could see my face. And I'm watching the meeting take place while everyone's supposed to be looking the other way. So of course everyone turns around, and I'm like, "What? I'm taking a dump. I don't have time for this. If I take a dump when we're working, they should be like, oh, you should be working. You should have done this before you came out."
Typically, when people take dumps and they're working, it's not in front of an audience of like 17 people
that they just met a week ago.
that they just met a week ago.
Yeah, it's gonna happen
I do
eventually.
shit differently in my world. Speaking of, let's get a good shot of that. You got to steady your hands. There.
I don't want you emailing me this, and then I don't want.
Yeah,
to
that's
edit it.
good. That's good.
Yeah, are we
That's good.
Are we good with the?
Yeah,
All right.
that's good.
That was
Fuck.
unofficially 10 inches long. It looked
Unofficially.
it looked like a smiley face with the other one with like a Hitler mustache. So there was two. You can't really see the second one.
Do you give personalities to all of your poops?
No, I have video of the figure eight.
Wait.
Shit though. Video.
Figure eight.
Video.
The infinite poo.
I can't help but notice there's no toilet paper. So you shat, and then with a shitty asshole, you stood up and got your phone out and then started clicking
Okay,
more
let
pictures.
me
I've been eating a lot of Teflon recently.
Okay, let's zoom in on the toilet paper.
I don't think it's real. Okay, there's a
One
lot.
It was
blank
a
sheet
one
doesn't
wiper. It was a one wiper. What do you want from me? It was clean. It was good. All right, enough of my phone.
Pretty sure you just
That's-
like ripped that
that's
off
like-
the roll and dropped it in as proof.
We'll do a weekly segment of my fucking some
Nick
weird
shits.
picture. Last time it was a picture of
Nick
Carlos.
shits.
Yeah.
It was Carlos fucking dashed open last
Yeah,
time.
so-
which is cut out.
You cut the cut?
Well, we're not using it. What are we gonna do with it?
Yeah.
We had to take the part about flow out too, but not this time. We're good with flow.
Yeah, we're not gonna say anything about flow.
Not one thing at all.
Nothing about flow.
Meteorites.
Meteorites.
Meteorite. Russia.
I looked outside. I didn't see. Oh,
You didn't see the one in Russia from here?
no,
In Toronto?
bullshit. 7 stories. You'd think I'd see something.
You think so?
Yeah, bullshit.
I can see Russia from my house.
Well, Mr. Penthouse.
With a magnifying scope.
Yeah. Well, on the internet. Isn't that how everybody sees Russia from here?
They had some shitty cameras on this. It's just like
Oh yeah,
Like
because you were
dash
saying it
cams.
was like the dash cam thing.
apparently everyone in Russia has a built-in dash cam.
Yeah, well, the weirdest shot I saw was of a guy driving forwards, and it happened behind him. So you see this big flash of light go on behind him.
And it was bright
and
too.
He kind
Like
of turns
everything was
around,
white.
like, what was that? But we're watching CNN, just so you guys know, like the most inaccurate newscast in anywhere in the world.
Yeah, she said
They can show a plane hitting the Pentagon somehow on CNN.
the news when they were talking about the asteroid that just passed, like
That was today.
yeah, like I guess
Not the
like
one
2
Russia
p.m.
from yesterday.
Yeah, one today. She's like, is it just a coinky dink that Russia got hit and then this one passes?
Yeah, because I know when I'm an alien,
Science.
Whoa, yeah.
when I'm an alien, the first thing I'm thinking about is like relationships between Russia and the U.S.
Yeah, well, you gotta.
Get Russia first, and then we can get the U.S., and then after that, the world is ours.
But the Germans did it first.
Are you afraid to see Germans, Tony?
The Foo Fighters story from World War II came from Germany.
Oh, the actual Foo
Yeah.
Fighters.
The actual Foo Fighters, and that was
Not them.
supposedly was it cold fusion machine made by Victor Schauberger?
That's in the movie The Saint. I know about that now.
Yeah, and
Val Kilmer.
I've read a
Val
little bit
Kilmer.
about Schauberger
It's a
and
good
what he
movie.
made. And after the war, he was taken to the States, and then all of a sudden the States had this Roswell incident in Area 51. And it was the same sort of thing as like what happened in Germany with these Foo Fighters. It was a flying object. It defied, gravity and whatever, and just sort of hovered. And then boom, it was gone. And then all of a sudden the States had these appearances, and Russia and everywhere else. After Schauberger had created this, I'm probably saying his name wrong multiple times.
No one will know.
It was the Germans.
You just edited it.
Yeah, I just
Really, like, more accent.
audio
down.
over it.
Mr. Falcon.
Anyways, I don't believe there's any real aliens that anyone's seen. They see lights in the sky. They've seen shiny objects.
But what about the Greys, the little white guys, big heads?
I personally know a guy that's had an experience with aliens, and he's paranoid, schizophrenic.
Now or
I don't-
before?
During,
Like, was he
before.
crazy? Or I don't want to say crazy in a bad way, but
Schizophrenia is different in that he's not crazy all the time. He has bouts. He has bouts where you're schizophrenic. And that's how schizophrenia works. You're not always crazy, but you have times where you are not seeing reality properly.
so
And he's
for him to say
paranoid.
he saw an aliens kind of
It's
easily
unreliable. It's not
Yeah.
easily dismissed, but it's unreliable.
Oh, by the way, don't hit the table just like I did.
Just like you did.
Yeah, when you kick the table,
Peaks.
shit moves.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say that I haven't seen anything, so therefore it didn't happen. But I'm saying what I've seen so far is that a lot of people said a lot of things, and I haven't seen any real legitimate.
Well, you'll
proof.
probably never see a little gray guy running around.
But if I tomorrow have this experience and I come back on the show, please don't discredit me.
But why not?
Because
Why
my
would you say
bipolar sociopathic disorder that I suffer from, mainly sociopathia.
That's fine.
Is that a term?
that? Yeah, sure. I'll accept it. I'll allow it.
I was watching some alien show. Oh, Ancient Aliens, I think. One of those aliens, chasing UFOs, one of them. Anyways, there's this theory that they hey, it's a good show. They're all good.
I just love
Oh,
that
the
guy.
only thing that can do
Semi-credible.
it is aliens.
Oh, that guy.
I watched a 3-hour Ancient Aliens Debunked.
I saw
video.
this guy.
Oh, it's
And it was
horseshit.
fantastic.
I saw this guy take a
Not
dump into a
interesting.
toilet bowl. He took a picture of it, but I'm telling you, bro, aliens.
Let's go back to the beginning of the video and the podcast. Aliens.
And then your shit.
10-inch long shits. We're allowed to say that in the air, right? On the air.
Oh, anything is encouraged.
So I think we've covered meteorites. Do you guys want to talk about UFOs?
I want to talk about UFOs because I was watching the show
Wait,
yesterday.
sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's cool. I like
It's gonna
it.
happen multiple times.
Yeah, it's not as bad as someone who ruined the first couple. But they said that one of the theories is that they're just people from the future, like they're humans,
The
that
Goobecks.
the gray guys. And what happened was, I guess something with the radiation turned them into Ken dolls, and they're coming back through time travel to
Harvest penises.
yeah, because they can't reproduce anymore, so they're taking people back.
That's similar to the original Greys.
But they're not aliens; they're just people from the future.
Well, yeah,
that's great. Yeah, the great.
The gray story is that their race is dying, so they're coming to Earth to find a way to mate with humans or something.
Oh yeah, I heard a little
Like,
side
the
thing.
probing.
The
They're
Pleiadian
coming
story
back.
is different.
I like it though.
The Martian story is different. All the different aliens have a different background, and everyone disputes this, and they have a polarity of this and that. And it's very interesting. It's very fictional in most
Well,
accounts.
they just found. The last number I heard was at least a billion. I think it was billions of potential Earth-like planets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Like billions.
I'm
Not
not disputing. That
not
there
like
is
you know
life out
15.
there.
Like billions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's got to be something.
But I mean, like,
especially a little farther ahead than we are.
There's also the fact that like
Definitely.
life doesn't have to be exactly like us. Like we're carbon-based life, but there's also sulfur-based life.
Yeah, they just found out that
I'm glad this guy's here.
they didn't need the 5 basic elements that we thought you needed for life. They just found one like that last year.
There's one that's rooted. I can't remember exactly which it is, but it's like silicon or it's like sulfur. But something that's like inherently poisonous to us is you can build life out of that element.
Well, like
And so if you hugged
trees.
it, you would be dissolved by it. But yeah,
It's like
it would be alive.
I'd say like trees and take carbon dioxide, and that would kill us if that's all we had.
I heard they were making plastic trees that do the same thing now.
That's horseshit. Why not just have wooden trees? It's cheaper.
There's 3 kinds of trees you can use. Why not use wooden trees?
Cheaper for what? The environment? If you
I
have a
don't
plastic
know.
tree that doesn't cost anyone anything and it's just converting
How much
air
does
into
a
oxygen or
wood tree
CO2.
cost?
Well, NASA has this thing where they have like the 3 plants that they put in the rooms to make sure there's proper like air filtration or
Which
something.
plants?
I can't remember. It's have to be on Wikipedia, but there's
I'm
definitely
gonna
an
Google
article
that and
for
then subtitle it.
it. Yeah,
Let's take a break.
right here.
Yeah.
This thing.
Oh, by the way, those 3 trees are. I don't even know what to Google for that. 3 trees,
Just like
trees,
NASA trees air filtration, and you'll find it.
I can do
Or
that.
Plants, yeah.
Probably won't do that though.
Probably not.
I'm pretty lazy.
I thought they were
That's why I'm
like,
doing this.
They can't have any flames on those boards because like it's so oxygen rich. It was because
Are you
they didn't
Googling
have
it?
plants.
Yeah.
All right. What's
While
up?
he's doing that,
Yeah, how are you doing?
What are we on? Grammys or shock videos now?
Ah, fuck it. There's no. Let's just whatever happens. Are we done with aliens?
Are you done with aliens?
I don't know.
Because there's a lot. There's a lot. to
You
say.
don't believe in aliens.
I don't believe I've seen an alien.
Well, I don't believe I've seen one
And when
either.
I see people say, "Oh my God, look at that thing in the sky! That's an alien."
Well, technically, it is a
they
UFO.
want to see an alien.
But
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They're like, I want to see something spectacular in my life because it sucks. I was abused as a child, this and that. And all of a sudden, they see these fantastic things in the sky, and it makes their life relevant.
Well, technically, it is a UFO though, because UFO doesn't mean alien space.
No, it means unidentified flying object. They're not calling it a UFO. They're not saying, oh, that could be anything. They're saying, that's an alien. They're watching us. They're watching me. Why?
Because you're the center of the universe, bro.
I can only take that statement
On my way
seriously
to
if you
work
have a
in
tinfoil
Hamilton.
hat. Then I believe someone is watching.
It's like the conspiracy theory movie with, who was it?
Mel
Gibson
Brooks?
and Mel Brooks and Young Frankenstein.
That'd be pretty good. Frankenstein gets abducted by aliens.
That'd be interesting.
That could be a thing.
You can see the Abbott Costello, Frankenstein, aliens. Put it all together. Maybe Popeye, throw them in the mix.
Fuck yeah, I love Popeye. You see someone made a 3D rendering of what Popeye would look like if he were a real person.
Oh yeah.
His forearms are like this big, and his biceps are like mine, which is not much.
You know, like the face was all shriveled.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, what happened? I thought he was like young.
Cancer. Smoking.
Then there's
That's why you don't smoke, kids.
Spinach. Don't eat spinach, kids. Apparently, that was like just straight up propaganda. Like it wasn't like a legit comic book. It was just like we just want propaganda to get people to eat spinach, and I
Really?
guess legitimately it worked.
My brother was telling me that diamonds, they're used like they're not.
They're not expensive.
No, they're not.
They're
But
worthless.
the whole
Yeah.
reason that like the
Except
wedding
for
ring is
cutting.
3 months' salary and everything, all that started with De Beers ad
Yeah.
because they needed to up the price of diamonds. So it was a campaign because my brother's in advertising, so it was an advertising campaign that
Slowly got
made
out of
diamonds
hand.
worth money.
Well, then it was also through Marilyn Monroe, I think.
Yeah, she's a whore though.
What? Effective
Don't you dare say that about Joe DiMaggio. How dare you? Jolton Joe, number 5. It's my number.
For Joe Carter, but that's just me.
Joe Carter was 29, wasn't he? Is that Jesse Barfield?
Oh, I'm talking about Home Run, 1992, based on Blue Jays.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was when I was watching the Leafs.
For
in
sure.
Are you a Jays fan?
1993.
A little bit, yeah. This year has been really exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This
The
whole
trades they
this
made
whole
is
winter,
crazy.
Because they
yeah.
just fucking bought out an entire team.
And they're good players.
Yeah.
I went on I have a little bit of a gambling problem. I actually lost I lost about $30 so far today. And if you go on this
I'm trying to
website,
win it back.
if you go on this website, you can
send me
gamble
some
on
money.
anything at all. And for the Jays to win the World Series is like a 4.0 multiplier, which is very low if you think about it. Because some teams are like 80s, which is like every dollar you get the multiplier back. So like it's a 4 multiplier, every dollar I bet I'll get 4 back, which is pretty
Does
low.
that change throughout the year, or is it you locked
Yeah.
in?
Oh, well, it'll
That's
change
just-
once the season starts.
That's just 4-1 odds.
But like
Yeah.
if you bet now, it stays at 4-1. So if they have a good team, it's going to be like
Yeah.
2-1.
Yeah, yeah.
or
I could bet like a 1,000
1-1
bucks.
or something like that
Yeah.
later on.
It'll change, but
Whereas
the bet
like,
I made will be
the Leafs
the
winning
same.
the Stanley Cup's probably like 1 million to
Imagine, though.
0.05, something like that.
I
They're
was
going to
thinking-
win. It's a shortened season.
I was
Sure,
kind
well,
of
my
thinking if
Amtrak
the
jerseys.
Leafs won that, then we would have the Argos, the Leafs, and the Jays winning
nobody will will count this year for the Leafs anyways. They're going to put an asterisk beside it. They're going to say
that's
it's
a shitty thing.
Or a nothing season.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, it is a nothing season.
Yeah,
I still like hockey.
which kind of sucks for whoever wins.
Well, I hope it's the Leafs. Perfect. It's a perfect season for them to win.
I'll still take it, though.
Then another 40, 50 years of not making the playoffs and having terrible management.
We got a new manager.
New manager, new coach.
New trees from NASA. Anything?
Yeah, it's just I get this list of like 25 plants, and I'm not going to read out all.
We got
their
time.
names.
We're only 13 minutes in.
We have like the dwarf date
Don't
palm,
actually read them.
Rica palm, Boston fern, Kimberly queen fern, English ivy, lily, turf spider plant, golden pothos, peace lily, flamingo lily. What the fuck is that? Chinese evergreen, not the American evergreen. Bamboo palm or a reed palm. Apparently they're the same thing. The broadleaf lady palm.
Hey, they're showing it right now.
Oh,
you can't
shit.
see it. Meteorite explodes over Russia. 100 injured. Fireballs. Sorry,
Didn't
continue.
they
was
shoot
really
that shit
interesting.
down? I thought they shot that.
It looks like they kind of. It looks like you can see.
It looks like it
the
dissipates
impact.
like a meteor that's either on fire and dissipating, but normally they break apart. And...
So what you're saying is Reagan was right.
Hey, holy
Whoa, that would be.
Dojo judo practice interrupted by meteorite.
And two guys
And
not
the
giving a fuck.
instructor is just like, we done here?
I'm
We're
not
just going to pull
finished training.
guard and take care of this. Oh, we weren't going to talk about jiu-jitsu today.
No,
sorry.
no jiu-jitsu.
That wasn't jiu-jitsu. That was sambo. That was judo. It was in Russia, so it's
Who's
not
from there?
jiu-jitsu.
Who was it? Oh no,
Jesus.
it was a hoax. I thought there was like an earthquake or something in California, and they were interviewing people who came out of the building. One guy was like, "Yeah, I was busy doing deadlifts at the time, and then so I finished off my set, and then I evacuated the building." You're like, what?
Ladies.
It's all about focus, right? Singular focus.
Yeah, exactly.
Put your mind to something. Forget the asteroid. So they're showing it again, and it looks like entry burn,
right there.
but like
No, it's too close for entry.
it's too close. Like it doesn't.
That's not that high. That looks like where I used to live.
In Russia,
It
in
is.
the central region of Russia.
Well, Russia is actually the mirror of America. That's why you have these polar opposite values. Is because it's just like looking into a mirror. and
No, it's
then
because they
dropping
want to
on the
all
ground.
kill themselves. Because Russia sucks.
That too.
No offense, Vasily.
This is severe.
Severe. Oh, severe.
I'm Ukrainian. You can luck out this time. Sorry, we're just gonna watch TV for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, seriously.
Just say interesting things about it at least. There's no.
Whoa.
All right.
Okay, yeah,
We're ready
we
to
can't.
talk
We can't
about,
watch TV.
No.
We're ready to talk
People are
about
watching
something
us watch
besides
TV.
UFOs and the Grammys. The Grammys.
Grammys? I don't know. I forget why I wrote that down. Just like something.
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
Oh yeah.
Fuck that guy.
How do you feel about his tattoo? Neck tattoo.
You got a
Let's
tattoo?
make this the shortest part. I don't want to. I don't want to be like a
Fucking
gossip
fuck
rag.
Chris
The only dude-
Brown.
The only dude I know who has a neck tattoo, it says schizo across it, and that's because he's schizophrenic.
Huh. I don't know what to say
Doesn't
about
Tyson
that.
have like a face neck tattoo too? And like he's clearly got like some sociopathic disorder as well.
I saw a lot of hipsters with face tattoos now.
And also served 6 years for assaulting a woman like Chris Brown.
Who's-
but didn't serve any time because he just convinced her to go back out with him.
Yeah, that's
That's the way you got to do it.
he only
That's
did
women
it.
rights in the 90s.
He only did it because he loved her, right? So,
Yeah.
that's cool.
She shouldn't have dressed that way.
Yeah,
Wait,
she-
nope, that's something else.
That's pretty much the
That's,
same thing.
that's,
She just
that's
dressed in
also
such a way that I had to
correct.
punch her. Damn.
it's that forehead. Just taking over the galaxy.
How could I miss?
the
I was
known
actually
universe.
punching in the opposite direction.
I was punching everything else in the known universe, and I hit her
I
forehead.
was just stretching.
Wow, she's
High
gonna,
five in
she's
your
gonna come
face.
and hit me in the face now and start dating me afterwards.
I like how
Apparently,
this-
she started that fight with him.
Really?
Like the first time, and then he ended the fight, and then everyone was like, "Oh, you shouldn't, go back with him." And like
he
started coming back
ended
with
the fight.
That's-
yeah,
That's
dude.
one way of putting
him.
it.
From the way it sounded, is like they got in a fight. She was the one that was getting out of hand, and like that was it. Like, and it happens
He just-
multiple times with domestics that
The pimp hand is strong.
people are both getting out of hand, and normally the guy is bigger and stronger and levels the woman. And in my circumstances during security, that's pretty much how it happens. The woman starts fighting with the guy who's trying to be calm, trying to be relaxed. This isn't always the case. But then he just ends the fight, and it's normally brutal and vicious, and they go home
Like-
together. They don't press charges on each other. I've had circumstances where the police we're going to call you tomorrow to make a statement. They never call me, and then I'm like, well, what happened with it? And they're like, oh, they're back together. They're fine. And I've heard this multiple times.
So,
Over and over.
what's-
My uncle's a lawyer.
Yeah,
He
but
worked
that
in the
shit's-
Bernardo case.
That shit's really unhealthy.
It's
Really?
incredibly unhealthy.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Unhealthy.
Okay, good. I
It's-
thought you said it's incredibly healthy.
It's unhealthy. My
don't
uncle
have
worked in the
shit building
Bernardo
up.
case, so like I know some things about like domestics that a lot of people don't hear about because they're not in a courtroom,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of disturbing. Like how many people will just go back with someone that abuses them, guy or girl.
Yeah, but that's part of a system of abuse, anyways. Once
Once you're in that
accept
cycle of
that-
violence.
exactly.
Well, they break them mentally too. So they what I think is most of the women feel like they can't do any better because the guys have just fucked them mentally
It's
so
part
badly.
of part of the role modeling is growing up, and part of what they see from like the parents and whatever around them, and part of just the cycle of violence they see on TV all the time.
Yeah.
Like people look to power for a solution all the time.
And if power happens to punch you in the face because it loves you,
That's a
I just
terrible,
want to make
terrible way to
I
put
want to
it.
make you beautiful.
I
David.
don't see the love in the situation, but I understand the control and the dominance perspective of it, and the whole alpha male.
Maybe
aspect.
they're into it though. People are in some weird shit. I've seen a guy get his balls stepped on in high heels.
yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
That brings us to our next topic: shock videos.
Shock video.
That was a good segue. We got away from Chris Brown without
Pretty good.
offending anybody except for Rihanna and Chris Brown. We didn't get into OJ.
We'll make a little check mark of how many people we offend.
Yeah.
So we're at 3 now. The Russians.
Can we get a whiteboard back here?
Like the abacus. 1,
I wish I could make this more green.
The abacus of offense.
3. Okay.
Shock videos?
Shock videos.
Are there any new ones out, or is it kind of?
I think 2 Girls, 1 Cup was kind of like the last thing that could really
No,
push any
that was like
buttons.
the first one.
First one.
Wait,
one of
I don't know the
first
chronological
mainstream
order.
It was one of the first mainstream ones. There was
Yeah.
also that like one guy, one jar thing. And
Yeah, I thought
What?
that was after. You've never seen the jar?
Explain.
Oh,
dude
Jesus,
stuck
where's
a
my
jar in his
iPad?
ass and then it broke
Broke
and
it?
picked out
Yeah.
pieces, and it was bloody and
Yeah,
messy.
man, it's like a fist size, bigger than that.
No, it's like a
Sounds-
jar, like a
Yeah,
pickle
it was-
jar.
Yeah, it was,
Sounds like a good frat party turned wrong.
he shoved it up his
It was
ass.
not a frat party.
The worst part-
He got interviewed later by a porno magazine. You can find it online.
I'm gonna. Is it a video or reading?
Reading thing.
Oh,
Can you
good.
find this
Yeah.
on your phone right now?
I'll be the guy with the jar up his ass.
John,
you can
I
be the interview.
can't remember what his name, but if you do like just a little bit of googling, you'll find it.
2 guys, 1 jar. No, 1 guy, 1 jar.
One guy, one jar. One guy, one jar interview.
What was the website? Is that what it was?
I can't remember. Like I read
Jar
this,
ass.
I read this like years ago.
Jar
yeah,
Ass.
Jar Ass Quarterly.
See, the thing I didn't like about it is because it's pretty much like mid leg to belly button is a whole screen, right? It's zoomed
Oh,
up.
so.
So not only watching a guy pull glass out of his asshole and blood, but you got a dick in your face as well while you're watching it. It's just uncomfortable.
Just don't make eye contact with the penis. The penis doesn't have eyes, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? It's got a head. Just saying.
It's got a head, it's got a front, it's got a back.
Does it have
Just
to
don't look at it.
Yeah.
Don't even look at it.
I grew up watching Gwar. So, like, from 14 until now, I've watched some of the most offensive shit ever. Like, possible by Gwar. And so for things like 2 Girls, 1 Cup to come out, or somebody sticking a jar up their ass, doesn't really get me.
I'm trying to think of the worst one I've seen. I've seen a really bad one. It was more theatrical. It seemed like it was made. It wasn't like
Oh,
something
the
real-
one they put the sandpaper in the guy's urethra?
No,
Whoa.
that's horrible.
It looked incredibly
Jesus Christ.
fake. The penis
Bruh.
looked unreal. Yeah, exactly. You guys don't stick things in your urethra?
How did they get?
Wait,
like,
what
they
are we
just
talking about?
Roll it up really small. Just
No, it wasn't small.
his
It
urethra's
was-
stretched.
Urethras can stretch, and
I know.
there's those tribes that'll cut them.
You're supposed to respect them. At least that's what Urethra Franklin told me.
Bravo.
Best
We'll get a slow
one
clap
so
on
far.
that. And an awkward silence. Next topic.
I like that. That was really good.
Yeah, some people do
Urethra
some
Franklin.
fucked up things. At the Gwar show, they ripped Hitler's face off to start their set. They
Gwar?
sodomized, or no, they pulled a bag of coke out of like a hippie's ass in the band before. They cut Michael Jackson's dick off. They did
Sounds like
countless
Tuesday in
things.
Oshawa.
This is your standard day in Oshawa. You know, minus the coke money and coke.
Yeah.
But
Usually it's just one or the other.
but they're the kings of shock rock for a reason, and Gwar, they're the best at what they do because it's so well done and it's so humorous and it's so politically incorrect.
Yeah, I remember they did a lot of shit about either George Bush or Obama.
They've hit every president, prime minister. They killed Kurt Cobain a month after he died in Seattle.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Holy
they're
shit.
pretty fucking. They thought they were gonna get stabbed. They thought they were gonna get brushed and destroyed.
What was your reaction?
Laughter.
Really?
Wow.
They took it that well. eh?
Everything at their shows is taken as a joke because they're a shock rock.
Yeah, but still, man.
Most of their fans are metalheads that like read comic books, or comic book nerds that listen to metal. Like in the mosh pit, it's pretty much those guys all the time. It's a pretty rough mosh pit, but only because the people don't really get along.
Because one likes reading.
There's
comics.
crust punks and metalheads and like muscular comic book dudes.
This
It's a
guy's
very
weird.
strange mix it shows. It was one of the hardest pits I've been in 2 years ago at what's that place? Sound Academy.
That's
Oh,
a
that
place.
place.
And just like an hour and a half of just being beaten by people and just...
So I was never into going in mosh pits, mainly because I'm a pussy.
Mainly.
Pussies were designed for impact.
I don't know.
Oh.
I gotta come up with a zinger too.
You got some...
Yeah!
Damn it! Fuckers, pressure.
Some deep insight on that one.
But no, mosh pits are tough. They're like a rugby scrum or like a football game. Like, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get elbowed in the face. You're going to get hit in the stomach, whatever. You get hit at uneven angles and you get thrown around. You get jostled. It hurts. It's not really fun.
Jostled is probably the gentlest word to describe all that.
You get tickled a little. It's like a tickle fight.
You're going to get kicked in the
Times
kneecap.
10.
Jostled.
Yeah, I've definitely been dumped on my head multiple times in mosh pits. One time, dumped on my back on a manhole cover. One time, jumping off stage.
On a manhole cover?
Yeah.
Where was this?
That was at...
Is this a street party?
Canada's Wonderland. That was the year before I saw Guar and Nirvana. It was Screaming Trees and the Spin Doctors.
I think I've heard of screaming. No, I've heard Screeching Weasel.
Same sort of thing, except totally different.
That makes so much sense.
It was in the beginning of the alternative grunge phase, where everybody moshed to everything. And there was an area that the police were trying to keep people from getting to because all the seats were at front, so you couldn't dance there. But there was one area on the hill where people were dancing. There was a manhole cover there, and I definitely got dumped on it.
I got kicked in the face.
The worst thing that ever happened to me was landing on a monitor after doing a cartwheel, and that was totally my fault.
I'm not going to say anything about you doing a cartwheel.
I can do cartwheels.
I know, but in a mosh pit?
You can do cartwheels wherever the fuck you want to.
Done a headstand on a chair and done a face plant around when the chair slid. I've gotten hurt in mosh pits.
Nice.
Definitely been hurt in mosh pits.
I want to watch this one
I
day.
wish there was video of all of it around. We used to jump chairs, piles of chairs, all sorts of dumb stuff. There's a few pictures. I'll try and find them for next week. I'll bring a picture in every week.
Beautiful. I like these things.
Mosh pits are great. You get to, be loud, be angry, be
I
violent.
do that here.
And people
You should
don't
hear the shit I yell when no one's home.
People don't judge you for it here. Like
No
they
one judge-
will in your kettlebell-filled apartment. Your alcohol-laden...
I was going to say, you had quite the collection.
Yeah, I do okay.
I wish there was a mirror so we could just show the collection of kettlebells and
You need several mirrors.
a collection. It
It's
would be like, what was that movie, Tomb Raider?
Oh, yeah.
Da Vinci thing. If we could get enough, one ray of light from this thing to this mirror,
Everything lights up.
everything lights up.
Solid
and
gold.
The whole room is solid
Tequila.
gold.
Tequila. Speaking of tequila, I get to work. Some
Tequila.
Speaking of drinks, I was hanging out with some Brazilians.
We should come over and drink sometime.
Definitely.
If you're a liquor guy.
I am.
Well, we just had a
I'm
shot
not so
now.
much.
I gotta drive soon.
Yeah, I gotta go to work. It's fine. Let's get wasted.
And nobody will ever know.
Partying with Brazilians, they came back with this thing that they don't sell in Canada, and it was called cachaça de jambu. I don't know what the fuck they make it out of, but I took a shot and my mouth went numb. Like my lips were.
It's
I
actually
couldn't
made
feel
of
them anymore.
cocaine.
I'm certain they must have fucking cocaine in it or something. And I asked them that. They're like, no, not as far as we know. And it's just like, as far as they're concerned, it's just this like fermented fruit that makes your face go numb when you
It
drink
probably
it.
just took like a layer off the inside of your mouth.
Maybe
It's
it's
on
I
your
don't
brain.
it tickles a little bit and it tastes like ass. It's disgusting.
I got where is
It
it?
sounds good though somehow, like absinthe. Like it'll
It's-
probably
yeah.
kill you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, this stuff.
Oh yeah. I've had
That's-
this before. Somebody,
It's not
can I
a.
drive if I drink a shot of this?
It's like 70%.
Can I smell this?
You can have a tiny sip. You'll
just
probably
smelling
be
it
fine.
is like having a shot.
Bottled in the Czech Republic.
I bought it because I wasn't too sure where that was, so it was exotic.
Should it be
to me.
glowing neon green like this, or
Just
Oh,
try
shit.
it.
I'll
Smell
leave
it.
this right here?
After the tree planting, I went and like did a camping week with some of the people from our crew, and who was it? I think Kieran brought a bottle
Alcoholic
of absinthe.
beverage.
Yeah.
As if you're not supposed to just.
He brought
As
absinthe.
if you're not supposed to use that to clean your fucking house.
How could the one homeless guy that was with us have absinthe on him?
I don't
Maybe
know.
he just makes it.
It's a homeless guy.
No, he bought it. He bought it from
He
like
didn't
one
like
of the
living in
liquor
houses.
stores.
He just had a tent with him all the time, and he wanted to live outside. And that was
He
his thing.
hitchhiked
Winter,
over
sun.
and yeah.
Where was this? This couldn't have been here.
He's a tree planter.
He was everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
Where?
He
Where do you
was
plant
all over
trees now?
Canada.
Oh, this is British Columbia, Alberta.
That makes so much sense. I was gonna say it's got to be either BC or.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but he
it was
lived
up there.
everywhere. He
That's
went
it,
through the
really.
whole country. He just hitchhiked and traveled around, and he just stayed where
Goes
he
through
could.
the
and
states too. Yeah.
How long did you guys tree plant for? Like in one period or
They
session?
lasted a bit longer than me.
Not much.
How long?
I lasted 5 weeks officially. There was 2.5 at one location. Then we moved and did 2 weeks at the next location. It rained every day at that place.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do math. Start again. 5 weeks and then 2 weeks
It was
It was about a month and a half, 2 months.
total. Yeah.
No, sorry. Was it 1 week at that place and then a week at the next place?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like 2.5 at one place, week at the next place, week at the next place, and we're going up to high level, and the mosquitoes and the bugs had just started to come out.
You're so lucky you missed it, man. Horseflies were like the size of my thumb. It was unreal.
I was getting shivers hearing them go by, and they're like, "Why don't you just put your headphones in and turn it up?" I'm like, "I had it all the way up." They're like, "The bugs aren't really bad yet." I'm like, "I know. I'm not doing this. I'm
Yeah,
I'm gone."
That was just Grand Prairie. No, you fucking dodged a bullet. Holy shit.
I've dodged a few bullets in this time that I've known you.
Yeah. No, that was
no offense.
disgusting.
You're taking the shit show for me. I love it. Tree planting, moving. Oh, I got fired yesterday.
You got fired yesterday. It's
I
okay.
deserved it.
It's a shitty job. You totally deserved it.
Totally.
Just like Rihanna.
totally
Before we
deserved
talk about you guys getting fired, or you getting
it. Tree
fired,
planting.
my friend's going tree planting. She's never done it before
She's gonna hate her life.
for 4 months.
Yeah, we were supposed to be there.
It was like
for
a
3.
4-month contract.
Yeah.
And
She might be in a
she's-
better year though. We were in kind of a rough year, like a recession.
It's like way up north. I'm not even sure. So it's
Like
gonna be
North
shitty.
Ontario?
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ontario.
Oh, we heard stories about Ontario.
Is it
The
horrible?
good thing about Ontario is you don't really need a shovel because it's all just like swampland. Now the bad thing
Yeah,
about
that sounds
Ontario,
Black fly season.
black flies, mosquitoes, the bugs are unbelievable.
And we get like 8 cents or
Unbelievable.
something shitty like that
Yeah,
per
it's
tree.
also-
Yeah, but
like-
when you're just putting your hand into the soil, you don't even need a shovel. 8 cents is a breeze. Like we
Yeah,
were getting
but-
like 12 at some places, 11 at some others.
That's such.
It's not that big of a deal.
Three
But
cents.
No, it is.
when you're hitting rocks every time with your hands and your wrists are sore every
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, but
like,
if you get like a good cream field, then man, like 13 cents a tree.
yeah, because
There
you
were
guys got that drop in that one time. I never got that drop in the cream field.
And then there was
Creamfield.
you cream out like places that are good are creamy and places that are bad are slutty. I
I,
don't know why this is the terminology, but that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Sexy
I-
cash.
Yeah.
I like it.
Like I'm just used to like everywhere I planted there was either rocks or roots.
So wait, you
Like-
said the good places were creamy,
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just put the shovel in and it just goes right down. You open it up with the tree right
and the
in.
bad places are slutty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
would have
hit
thought the
rocks
ones that were
halfway
easy
through.
to get in would have been slutty.
You'd think so.
Is that not? That's.
I'm
We
not
should
going to get
change
into any
this.
feminist dialogue on this. We're going to try and out-feminist each other today, but
No.
I can already tell after what I said that I'm not going to win this one.
I feel like there's a feminist who's probably going to see this. Who knows a feminist? Isn't there a feminist
I
somewhere?
train feminists.
That was you then. You brought up feminism. Yeah, we
and-
shouldn't tread those waters.
Well, you can tread the waters.
I'm not
It's
gonna.
It's just I'm not the person to talk about female rights. It should be a female to talk about female rights. The only
Well-
male I've seen that could do it like with like a decent amount of like dignity was Ashley Montague. He wrote The Biological
Ashley?
Superiority of Women. Yeah, Ashley Montague. I think it was Ashley Montague. Look it up.
It might have been.
Google that. But no, he was just writing about like how
Evidence.
they're just designed better for work. They have like
Well,
they're
men are-
better
women are?
emotionally. Women are, yeah, and like just over and over, like just goes through like every possible way that you'd be rated as like a human being, and like women just excelled in almost every category except for basically powerlifting. And like I don't know, I think that was pretty much it. It was just like they had less upper body strength than men. Everything else they could do with equal or greater ability after like a certain amount of time, and like the time they took off work was less, the time for recovery from injuries was less, the mental stress was less, the emotional stress was less. They're better designed for survival than men. And if you think about them being like the mothers and the caregivers, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Whereas then you have your men going out, doing whatever, killing ridiculous animals because they want to, or like
Because they're
staking
good
their claim
providers.
because they're egotists and they're following their ego. And women can do all the same
Well,
things that
I've never
men
gone hunting.
can, but they choose not to.
But yeah,
That's simply what
But we
he
can
says.
do
There's a
everything they
certain,
can do.
There's a certain survivalist like, imperative on women not going out hunting though. Like look at the Neanderthals. The women used to go with the men when they were hunting mammoths.
You know they're trying to bring them back.
But that's incredibly fucking dangerous. You're talking about like a mammoth. This thing is enormous, and you're stabbing at it with rocks on the end of a stick. Of course, people are going to get injured and die.
Yeah.
And if like all of your women are doing that too, you just
Well, I don't think like you should like use any gender bias and things like that. Like I feel like
It's not
women
that they can't do it.
should,
it's not that
as
they
long
can't
as
do
they're
it.
not
But it has
holding a child with them at the time or pregnant.
Dwarf Fortress. But
So you still
But
feel
like
women
if you
children
look at
first?
if you
But no,
look at
that-
hunter-gatherer societies, all the women hunted while pregnant. They'd give birth and keep going, like hunting, gathering. It was all part of the same system.
When-
You need food.
But it has to do with your mortality rate. Like if the people who are making your new babies are getting fucked up, then you're going to have issues with mortality rates.
Well, if that was the case, then they would have set up a system where they could stay at home in bigger groups.
They did,
which
agrarian cultures, and that's what we
eventually
are.
that ended up happening after like horticulture
was-
started to develop.
And this is one of the things that caused Neanderthals to like kind of fall off was that.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, Neanderthals were
women-
stuck in the hunter-gatherer society. They didn't get to the planting.
Yeah, and part of that was because everybody who gave birth was like their population couldn't grow.
They were stuck.
Yeah,
They were stuck at a point.
But when you
Where's
have
Jared Diamond when you need him?
Exactly.
Guns, germs, and guns.
guns, germs, and steel.
Guns and germs, and I'm gonna drink my
Germs and
sponsor.
guns.
Sponsor drink.
I'm gonna take care of this. I think we got some feminism in. That was okay.
Yeah,
I feel bad. I still feel like I'm gonna take heat for that.
I got something in feminism.
I want to stay out of that conversation.
The Tesla model ran out of power. Who would have thought a turn of the century?
Don't make me turn the TV off.
The last century wouldn't work as well as electric cars do now.
Man, I don't know why everybody jerks off Tesla so much. I mean, I love the guy, but it's like you just drop his name and then everyone's like, "Oh, Tesla, my panties."
Teslas did fantastic things with AC current and other stuff, but he just didn't have the marketing that Edison had.
Yeah.
He didn't have the patent office rights that Edison had.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't have the machine behind him that Edison had. But like Tesla was a genius. He was brilliant, and he's I think widely misunderstood, like Victor Schauberger,
Also totally celibate.
Emmanuel Velikovsky, like guys that are like geniuses that were smarter than Einstein, smarter than Freud, and like
We're
they
going
made
into
them,
relative degrees of.
they made them look like silly in person, and like this is well established that these people were like well beyond these people, but because they were celibate, they were socially inept or whatever, they didn't get the marketing that they should have got for their inventions. Like, you've ever been on a flume ride?
No. I'm
You ever
just
been on a
saying,
flume ride?
I'm not disparaging
No.
Tesla at all. I love Tesla.
That
Tesla's
wasn't
awesome.
Tesla, but
But I'm just saying, like it's just everybody's like Tesla, and then they get all wet. in the
Tesla
panties just from
Tesla
the name.
didn't save the planet.
It's
He's
like-
not Jesus Christ.
No, I know, and
And Jesus
it's
Christ
a
isn't
big
Jesus
hipster
Christ,
thing.
from what I've heard.
Yeah.
He didn't save the planet. He was supposed to. Everything was supposed to turn around. Is 1 generation, 2 generations away.
Are we talking about
Never
Jesus or Tesla?
It
Both.
doesn't matter.
Same person.
They're
Same
not.
person?
They're
Yeah.
not a savior. They didn't save the planet. They didn't get the job done. Their inventions didn't save humanity. And I think that's what Dave's getting at. Is that they're not what people think they are. They had great inventions. They had great ideas for their time.
And it's
Well, that's
they
all
need
you
to
can really
get
ask
developed.
for, really. You can't make someone like Einstein come up with something that's going to
Theory of
help us
relativity.
out in
Well,
2030.
a universal law.
Fun fact.
A lot of his things are being
Einstein,
proven right.
No, Einstein
yeah.
was like obsolete by the end of his life.
Einstein couldn't adapt to new physics
Exactly.
But he did say that time travel is possible.
No.
when he was still at the cutting edge of physics.
But
No,
it is
I don't know.
possible. Scientists now are saying it's possible.
I don't really believe that.
No.
No, they are.
I think that's a relative statement based on what we know of time.
It's-
We base
he's
time
saying
off
that,
of
I think the
number
way
and
that,
clock.
the way they said it is physicists say that it's going to be possible. They just don't know how to make it possible yet.
You have like the
Time
ability
is an
to play
abstract
tricks.
concept.
No. You can
No.
can how do I put this? You can stretch time and you can make it seem like it's longer from one
Yeah,
perspective
because
to another.
if you go in space, you're going faster, so time takes longer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that
There's
That's
that
not
whole thing with the
traveling
twins
through time.
traveling
no.
at the speed of
Well,
light.
that's
and
like
coming
saying
back.
going from Australia to here to Australia is time travel. That's,
But, like-
that doesn't make.
No,
That's
no,
not,
no,
The
no,
way
it's
that
like
time
popular.
works is only the fact that we're recording it.
It's
We can't redo this moment.
No, but to go back and see Jesus, you can't say it wouldn't be time traveling.
That would be time
everything in-
travel.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, sorry. What I'm saying is
If he
everything.
was alive.
Everything in physics has to do with frames of reference. So you have different perspectives, and if one perspective is traveling closer to the speed of light than another one, it travels
Time
through
slows
time
down.
slower than the one that's going slower.
So if we were on a slower planet, time would be going like way faster.
Yeah.
You're
This
saying
is-
if we just sped up Earth, we'd excel quicker?
No, we would have
Our-
slower
our-
time
our life-
in relation to how we're like recording it.
If all right, so if Earth was going quicker like that, our lives would appear identical as to what they are now. But if you were on a space station, you would age faster.
Let me just
Anyway.
write quantum physics down.
Yeah, for the next time.
Bell theorem.
Let me read up on this before we. Get
No,
into the-
no, this is good. Me and Dave are getting all the brownie points for this
I
one.
I just did an undergrad course in
Well,
like,
I'm
string
glad.
theory
I'm
and
glad you're here because I know way less about it than you do.
stuff.
and
So
you have
you're-
it all
you're gonna
on video
educate
tape,
me.
So
This is
you
all
can
like-
learn all from it later. Maybe
I'll
you-
admit when I don't know shit. So that's why you're here,
Yay,
unknowingly
The
to both
flume
of us
ride.
before.
flume ride.
That was Velikovsky.
What is that?
the flume? You can't just have water running down a mountain because it won't let anything float on it.
Yeah.
It'll hit a point where it just sinks. Velikovsky designed a way. I'm probably saying his name wrong.
Velikovsky.
I'm saying the wrong guy's name. Schauberger, Victor
Just think vodka
Schauberger,
when you say it.
the guy that made the
The
guy
guy
that
that made
Fighters, supposedly.
vodka.
Yeah, the guy that made vodka. Design a way to get logs down a valley in the
Oh, I know what you're
in
talking about.
the Rhine or whatever, the Rhine Valley.
Yeah.
So like you discovered a way where you can keep fresh sources of water coming in that will float the wood just long enough to get it to the next fresh source of water and keep this cold water keeping the wood floating the whole way down the mountain so you don't have a log jam.
Every time you say the word log, I think of the first minute of this.
Can we show that again?
No.
Just flash it on the screen for me. Just
People are going to think it's a really shitty show.
really good shoe. Really good shoe.
Tip your waitresses, folks. I'll be here all week.
Regardless, there's fantastic inventions that have been totally obscured for over 100 years.
Steroids.
Yeah.
Steroids is a fantastic
Let's talk
invention.
about the cover-up of steroids on this planet. And how many people that we probably train with that possibly use steroids.
Should I hit the mute button? Because
I was
say their
counting.
names.
I was counting earlier. I'm not going to say any names for.
I'll mute it. And then you.
I will never say names
Like-
because that's somebody's personal choice.
What if I mute it and then you cover your mouth and then that way I know who we're talking about?
Mr. Burns. Listen, if people want to do steroids, that's their own choice. But like for them to be on steroids and for me to train with them, kind of creates a dangerous environment for me. But at the same time, it brings me to a level I previously couldn't have got to without having them around me. So in essence, them being on steroids raises my level to a point that I couldn't have been to naturally.
You're receiving a positive externality from them doing steroids.
Exactly.
Wow.
So if you look at how guys get
It's
jacked
almost
in
like
prison,
you're doing steroids.
immediately, it's
It's
almost like I'm taking a
contact high.
benefit.
Yeah. Your balls are only getting half as small.
Can you just rub your steroids on me? Steroid muscles. But it'll bring everyone's performance up. And they were saying this about when Ben Johnson won the Olympics. Even though everyone else tested positive in that same games, they
I
just
feel like we're going to start talking
steroids.
about wrestling.
Pro wrestling?
Yeah.
Or the 2020 Olympics.
The
that won't
2020
have
Olympics.
wrestling in it.
Yeah, that's fucked up. But synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
Dude, the Olympics is such a sham.
They're adding
anyways.
golf. I heard. I think Brazil's going to add golf.
Okay, so wait, Brazil invented Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu
Yeah.
and capoeira, and they're going to bring golf in
I
for
think
the
that's what
exhibition
I heard. I don't know if
sport?
it's true or not, but I
That,
heard
that makes perfect sense, actually.
That's what I heard.
Oh, here it is, the dojo.
The two guys.
Boom!
We're the two guys that don't give a fuck. One guy jumps
One guy-
slightly
one
and
guy
just stands there.
Oh,
One
The
guy's
other
like
guy
a
Oh, you
starts
realize he
running
looks
and
like
then
a
he
bitch.
stops.
That's a martial artist. That's
the guy in
and
the...
someone who recognizes immediate danger and then makes a plan right away. That's fucked.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Except for the
Anyways,
little
you
guy.
can't see what we're seeing, but
Nope.
it's intense. We'll show clips.
Just
of
watch
it.
us watching it.
Bunch of little George
exciting.
stanzas.
Yeah.
Any Seinfeld fans? No? Then that went over everyone's head.
Yep.
Art
Son-
Vandelay.
No.
I used to listen to Seinfeld because I'd be on the computer in the same room my parents were watching it. Does that
Let's
count?
move on then.
What were we talking about before this?
Steroids.
Steroids.
Contact roids.
Well, you were talking about the full steroid Olympics.
Oh yeah, Hans and Franz, Saturday Night Live. I don't know if that was the actual name of it, but it was just like you were allowed to use any drug you wanted, and any like combination you wanted. So they're just massive. That's all like fake, of course. So the guy sets himself up for a deadlift, and it's like I don't know, like 3,000 pounds, like something totally absurd, like that normal humans shouldn't ever be able to lift. So he sets himself up, and he's like in that position, he's ready to go, he's grunting, and then he just rips his arms clean off, and he's just like, oh, that's gonna take him a few weeks to recover from that. Blood's like squirting out, and like Saturday Night Live's brilliant, but like Hans and Franz is brilliant too because
Wasn't
they're
that in a
talking
Guar show?
every Guar show they rip somebody's arms off.
I don't think I've
Every video.
ever heard anyone say Saturday Night Live was brilliant. Everyone says the show sucks.
It does
I
suck
think
now.
it
Except for
depends on
the-
the generation you watch it as. Like in the
yeah.
early '90s, late '80s was really good generation. The late '70s was good.
But who's on it now apart from that
When Will
curly-haired
Ferrell
guy?
was on, Jimmy Fallon were on. There was some
Jimmy
excellent
Fallon
years.
still sucks. I hate Jimmy Fallon.
But
Yeah.
if you watch the best of Jimmy Fallon, you'll be on the ground laughing.
Yeah, because
I
he's
definitely
laughing at
was.
himself because he can't keep
No.
a straight face.
Well, sometimes. Working with Will Ferrell's kind of impossible sometimes because of how funny he is.
Yeah, I could see that.
That dude is ridiculous.
I like the Chris Farley one. Watch the best of Chris Farley. I always watch it when I'm hungover and I shit my pants.
I still think the best episode I've ever seen was Jason Priestley.
Which one's that?
Oh no, or Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey or Jason Priestley.
Yeah. I like
And Jim
Christopher
Carrey
Walken.
did one of the ones with the church singing group with Will Ferrell and that woman, and like they were all singing and dancing together. That one was really good. But Jason Priestley did an excellent episode. This is like at the height of 90210 fame. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
This is not the generation I watched it in. I don't even watch that show. It's horrible.
There's a
Not to
time and a place,
be a
and some
downer.
shows are be a Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
That was a terrible.
Let's not
sketch.
talk about that. That show sucks.
That was a terrible sketch on that show. But no, Saturday Night Live was brilliant at points, and especially like the Hans and Franz stuff and that Wayne's World segment.
Like they definitely have some impactful things like the cowbell, more cowbell thing. That's gonna last forever. But then 90% of it is shit.
90% of it is
That's classic too.
Yeah, celebrity
There are
fucking
some.
But if you think about it,
exceptional
like the
things,
best parts of the show were based on people like Will Ferrell or like really, really
Yeah.
funny people
Or, yeah,
making
Chris
you
Farley.
laugh hysterically. And normally, like Phil Hartman, like they're laughing
yeah.
on stage, like Phil Hartman is doing like Bill Clinton, and he had food in his mouth. He's eating everybody's meal, and then he starts laughing, but he actually has food in his mouth. Like the audience is laughing at him laughing, and he's trying to get his line out, and he can't because he's laughing. There's food in his mouth. And it's like that's hilarious. You only get that from live TV.
Yeah.
Or pre-planned, staged and filmed live TV, but.
It's got that kind of feel that like improv has. When you see like good improv done, none of the jokes are actually funny, and you try to explain it to somebody, they're like, "Why were you laughing at that?" But it's amazing.
Yeah.
A giant killer shark.
Yeah.
It was a musical based on a movie that they can't say the name of. Jaws.
I watched an
Rapping
improv.
policemen, breakdancing guys. It was great.
I watched an improv show, and it was like
It wasn't improv, by the way.
it was like. But like they set up like different kinds of scenes that happen, and then they needed to pick a theme of the show, so they had somebody shout out, and it was a shortage of chickens in the fleet, and this was like the big problem that they had to deal with over the entire thing, and everybody just like makes up all of their lines as they're going along, and I died. It was so fucking funny, and then I explained these jokes to somebody the next day, and they're like, "What? That's not
Yeah.
funny."
It's the live element too.
Yeah.
You gotta watch. Go on YouTube if you have like a day when you're hungover and you don't want to do anything. They have look for best of Whose Line Is That Anyway, and it's like uncensored. It's the shit that wasn't like cut because it wasn't funny. It's the shit that was cut because they swear or do stuff that they couldn't air because it's a family show.
Yeah.
And there's like at least 30, and they're all 10 minutes long, and they're all hilarious.
Best of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
You say best of Saturday Night Live?
Yeah. Saturday Night Love.
Or Whose Line Is It Anyway for anyone.
Yeah.
That's what I was-
I like that show. I don't know if you can
Freudian
tell.
slip?
I don't know if you can tell.
Freudian slip. Freudian.
Fraudian.
Fraudian.
He's a fraud.
He's a Freud.
You hate everybody.
I hate on Freud because he took conclusions that were incorrect on 5 of 6 cases with women and built a theory off of it. It was absolutely incorrect.
I have to like him because Frasier
But
is
his insights
his favorite,
and his level of insights
or vice versa.
were well. Sorry, I cut you off.
That's okay. I was mumbling about Frasier.
Oh, okay.
I like
Frasier quotes Freud at length.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I have to be okay with Freud.
Freudian length. That's about penises. But the whole point is, the whole point.
It's all about width, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
yeah. You just keep saying that, and
Shit.
his
Freud had
level
great
of
insights.
understanding. But like the way that he had structured the system to look at things in particulars were incorrect, and he definitely took it too far in a lot of respects.
Yes.
But nobody else had done anything as insightful or as accurate as that before. It was a really big deal.
Well, yeah, he was a coke addict, and
That too.
He smoked cigars.
So was Sherlock Holmes.
Well, after he had lost his jaw to cancer, like Freud had his issues, and Freud had his.
But he
his
did what he had
upsides.
to do.
Yeah.
Well, the real
He
problem
man
I
the
have.
fuck up and smoke cigarettes without a jaw.
The real problem I have with Freud is more the problem I have with psychoanalytics is that you take the mind and you apply it to the body, and supposedly you cure problems within the body. And I feel like it works the other way around, where you take the body, you fix the body, and the mind is healed as a result. And that's the Reichian theory. And
That's
that's
the
the
kinda
other
like-
way to approach psychology.
Like look good, feel good kind of thing. If your body's all good, then your mind's gonna automatically feel better.
I'm not sure if that's exactly what Reich was getting at, but he talks a lot about body armoring and sexual energy and just how like you need to be fully balanced as an organism, not just like you can't just be up here all the time. And Freud was up here all the time. A lot of psychologists, psychoanalysts were like up here all the time. And like I feel like there's a total disconnect for the rest of your body. Like the rest of like your whole life doesn't matter. Like if all you care about is the intellectual side of life, then all you're gonna be is like a worry wart and like be stressed out and like anxious all the time. Whereas like Reich was like you gotta appreciate your lower half as well. And so like the idea of living in your gut so you can take advantage of both sides is a better solution than just staying up here all the time. Most people only live up here. They're just intellectuals and they can't fathom fathom breathing out of the bottom half of their stomach. So they shallow breathe all the time. So they're using 1/3 of their lungs, 1/5 of their brain, and they're getting nothing done. They're just going through the motions.
I heard incense is really good for helping you deep breathe.
I hate incense.
Really? Because you want to bring in the aroma,
Are you-
right? So
are
then
you
you breathe in
incensed by
deeper.
I'm enraged by incense. Incense.
It's a
by
complete.
incense.
Oh, you're doing it wrong.
Incensed by incense. Are we
I'm
gonna
not going to
censor
give you a
that?
high five on that one.
Are we censoring that part or?
If you want me to, I probably won't.
But yeah, no, I my problem with Freud is that
Sense
the
it's a
way
bad
that
idea.
psychology went in that direction, and that Freud was similar to Edison in that it was like my way or the highway. So Jung was okay because he was all mind over matter, but if you were like going the Reichian route, which was the body over the mind, you'd get blacklisted, you'd get made fun of, ridiculed in the press, and like it wasn't Freud doing it, but like they didn't really respond.
But he was doing
very well
he was
with each
doing
other.
academic things for an academic audience.
Exactly.
So that's
And Reich is now being proven correct, like very much like Velikovsky, Tesla, and Einstein.
it's like that Chaos and Pain guy. He was talking about the way that Indians were approaching weightlifting because they didn't have this concept of a separation between
India or
India and India.
Okay.
That's why I said India.
Jesus.
Are you being racist? No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome
Anyways,
Into this.
to the new. I don't know.
No,
Last 100 years.
We were talking about this earlier, and like I'm just deliberately pushing buttons for no reason.
Because I was pushing his buttons earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Well, I'm done talking. Go on.
okay,
So you guys push buttons on things I wasn't around for. So.
Indian, but like Indian
Weightlifters.
weightlifters, yeah, because they had this whole, they didn't have this concept that there was a separation between mind and body. If you let the body wither, then the mind would get fucked up. If you let the mind wither, then the body would get fucked up. And so you had
I
to work
believe-
both of them together.
I believe Darwin was the same.
Yeah.
He was jacked as well, like pretty muscular for an evolutionary sort of scientist.
Yeah.
Who are normally pretty frail.
Yeah, but this is like, and they had this whole idea
Like
where you
a
need
girl.
to, they're both in
Probably see a little
concert,
bitch.
in concert, and you have to work both of them.
Yeah, and I think it's important to understand that there's not just a physical and a mental body; that there is like a spiritual plane that like needs to be accessed as
It's
well.
a union of the two.
Union of all three.
Woo.
Yeah. And like, if you can't bring the two, the physical and the mental together, you can't access the third.
I'm trying to think of a good
Like if
Holy
you look
Trinity
at
joke, but
if
it's
you
not
look at
working.
really strong muscular guys that don't have a lot going on up here, they don't seem really all together. And if you look at it the other way around, really intellectual guys that don't have much of a physical presence, they don't have that spiritual presence either. You need to have both in a certain balance to achieve the third. So it's like a unison of the two into one, like a temple.
So you believe
To
in...
achieve enlightenment through violence and jujitsu.
So we,
We're not talking
we're not
about
talking about
jujitsu. We're not
jujitsu.
talking about jujitsu.
achieve violence through jiu-jitsu.
So when you say spiritual, does that mean you believe in like the whole afterlife spiritual thing? Or is that where you're going?
I'm not 100% on the afterlife. I've seen different theories of the weight changing within minutes after death.
Yeah,
Like
that could
the
be.
the 19
It's
ounce
Your
thing.
bottle
That's-
is also.
It's
But like,
totally
if all
attributable
things- No, it's not.
Yeah.
And the whole hair still growing after the thing is
Yeah.
because your head's shrinking.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
the-
you were going there.
the
I just
hair-
want to throw
the
that
hair
out.
and
The
the
skin
fingernails
contracts
don't
and
really
it
matter.
looks
Yeah,
like they're
it's just
growing.
because your skin's shriveling up and so it makes it look bigger.
Yeah,
longer.
people can sit all the way up. I knew a guy that worked in a morgue, so there's all kinds of fucked up stuff.
That happened with
can happen bodies.
Rasputin. They fucking hated Rasputin, and when he died, they threw him onto a funeral pyre, and the heat like caused his hip flexors to like shrink, and he sat up in the flames.
Oh my god, that'd
and
be terrifying.
everybody shat their pants.
Oh man, that's fucking creepy.
I heard a lot of the stuff about that guy was kind of fabricated though, so I'm not really sure how much.
No, it's all true.
Everything.
They shot him
Every
multiple
Every-
times, and he died from exposure underneath icy waters.
He's not dead.
He's still alive, breathing after being burned alive in thousands of pieces.
Yeah.
You could, I
Freddy
can see
Krueger.
it. because
Dude,
he
aliens.
was mind over matter. Aliens.
The movie or the?
Yeah.
That's the only one of the series I've seen. Game over, man.
Ridley Scott.
Look into my eye.
I'm just picturing Rasputin like leaping fully formed out of somebody's gut.
And just staring at you and healing your anemia.
Stealing your wife.
Was it anemia that he was healing?
Oh, maybe.
The
I
reason
can't
that
remember.
he was hired by the royal family in Russia was that he could stop the bleeding of his son. Oh, he was a hemophiliac.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Once he started bleeding, he couldn't stop. So he could hypnotize them and slow the heart rate down enough that he could stop the bleeding. So
Just
that's why he was
terrified the
hired.
blood and not coming out of his body.
Yeah, and then he started to get obnoxious with his power. But the whole royal family at that time, like the whole Tsarist era, was getting like obnoxious with their power too. So it was like a good sign that things were going to change anyways.
Yeah.
The only one that seemed to have their head on straight was Nicholas II, and he was the first one to go, I think.
Good. Fuck him. Sorry, I felt like
It's also my name.
I had to apply.
I wanted to say something.
Yeah, you
Let's
guys.
talk about quantum physics
I feel
again.
like-
Yeah, let's bring that back.
I feel like on general principle we should just fuck anybody named Nick.
With what?
With a jar.
Yeah,
With a
a
jar.
jar.
A big fucking
That-
jar, spiked jar. if
That,
we could.
that came out wrong.
Fuck you guys.
I was gonna ask what are we fucking
Damn.
Nick with? Beer bottle.
With musicians. Hanging around musicians.
Entire musicians. I'm just gonna take like Jimi Hendrix and
What was that episode of South Park where Slave jumped on Paris Hilton and took her up his
Yeah.
her entire body up his asshole?
Are you guys gonna see their little play? They have a musical on Broadway. Apparently, it's coming through Toronto.
Oh,
What?
really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind
Mr.
seeing
Slave
that.
or
I wish. No,
I've seen 3 musicals
Park
in my
guys.
life. I've seen Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor
Me too.
Dreamcoat,
I've seen that.
Evil Dead the musical,
I did not see that.
which is fantastic and like unreal, and then Giant Killer Shark, which was also fantastic.
Yeah.
You know who's doing a one man show in Niagara Falls? No, Mike Tyson. Do you want to go?
No.
Do you want to go? Anyone want to go with me?
That goes against all my Muslim beliefs.
What's wrong with Mike Tyson?
The fact that he's a sociopath rapist.
Well, yeah, but he's not gonna rape
I
you.
forgot the cannibal.
He's a.
Did he swallow the ear?
He
Probably.
didn't swallow it. He spit it out, but
So wait, all right.
I've heard that one before.
he didn't swallow.
This guy. Okay.
Yeah. No, he I don't respect Tyson so much as a boxer. He had a great 3 rounds in him, and then that was about it. He fought a real boxer. Like my first fight that I saw Tyson was Bone Crusher Smith. And if you get a chance to go online and watch the most boring fight in boxing history, please check that one out. He won his 2nd title off of that one, but it was just the most boring fight ever. Bone Crusher Smith was an outside fighter. Tyson's an inside fighter. So you can imagine what's going to happen when they just realize they don't want to play in either one's game. They just hug each other
Yeah.
for 12 rounds. So it was just a disappointing kind of fight.
Is
Like,
boxing still in the Olympics?
yeah, boxing will always be in the Olympics.
Well, you'd think that
The
about
boxing
wrestling.
commission's incredibly strong. The boxing commission was stopping MMA in Ontario for how many years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And there's,
It just
is there any
happened
word
this
on New
year.
York? Because they're still keeping MMA out of New York.
Fuck New York.
I love New York.
I'm going to New York this year, actually.
Really?
Again.
Let's go.
I'm going to
Party.
train with
Fuck him. Let's go
that
party.
guy, a jiu-jitsu guy you don't want to talk about.
Yeah, I want to talk
No,
about
yeah,
you.
that guy.
Marcelo Garcia. It's going to be awesome.
Did you end up going to Winnipeg?
Nope.
Good.
Nope. No,
'Cause
no
neither-
new tattoo, no training with Rodrigo, no nothing.
Not that we're talking
Hopefully
about it.
no
We're talking about
summer.
traveling. We're not talking about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, we're just talking about tattoos. The hangman.
Yeah.
The hangman and get thee behind me, Satan picture together. we'll flash that on the screen. It's a pretty cool image. I'm not really religious. I'm spiritual.
But you don't believe in God.
I
believe in myself, isn't that
I'm an
the same thing?
atheist.
That's Buddhist.
Atheist turned
Uh,
agnostic.
I don't know, man.
I'm a Taoist turned voodooist.
I think if you believe-
Voodooist, yeah.
If
turned
you believe in
discordinist.
spiritualness, you have to believe in God. And if you believe in God, then...
Well, you don't have to believe in God. You have to believe in an overlying power.
Well,
Overlying
a God.
something. But then if you believe in discordianism, you believe chaos is the overlying power, and that there is no order, there is no disorder. That's all an illusion.
What about entropy?
What about entropy?
It's an illusion. Did you just hear me?
Yeah, sorry, my
What are
bad.
we talking about?
Everything else is an illusion.
Tesla, all that's all illusion. It's all just a big lie.
Why is the Bible right? Because it says so.
Planetary amnesia, because it was written so many times over and over.
Yeah, like
That's
thousands
the
of
proof of the
times.
Bible, that it was
It's a broken
written the same way
telephone,
in
it's
the Dead Sea
amazing.
Scrolls.
Well, what about this thing? It's an illusion. What about this thing? It's an illusion. What about this thing? It's an illusion.
Okay, how about this? It's not an illusion, it was God. Okay,
Oh,
entropy, it was
Same
God.
thing. Same thing.
Okay, it was...
Something...
why does
something-
God hate me
what
so
is
much?
it?
Because of God. And just like...
Why are there
you-
dinosaurs testing your faith?
You end up in a circular argument all the time. So if you don't have a personal revelation, you have nothing. And so I'm the Pope, so I've had my personal revelation. If you guys haven't...
Does that mean that you're going to be
it's
stepping
unfortunate.
down? And
I might be stepping up, actually. I don't see myself being not Catholic enough to take the job. Maybe they won't like my politics as much, but...
I was
Well, they
really
don't really talk that much anyways. They kind of mumble, so it'll be fine.
well, the last 2 guys were like well over 60 each. The new guy from Africa... Well, he's not the
Is
new
there already
guy.
a new guy?
There's
No,
already-
no, no. He was the guy who got second in the last election.
Oh,
They assume he'll be the succeeder.
Runner-up Pope.
And yeah, and like I assume he will win just because they're like he'll probably win the next one is what they said at that election because it was close.
How old was he? Or is he?
Oh, he's not anywhere close to that age. He was like in his 50s or 60s, I think.
Yeah,
I
but
would've
like
thought-
Darth Benedict was fucking
85.
75. Yeah, 85.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got to be
Yeah.
way older than 60.
But the thing about this African guy, he doesn't really have any connections to like the Nazis or the mob or anything, so I'm not sure if he's going to win.
Most serious face ever.
No, like I'm actually serious about that. Like I don't think he has enough connections, so I don't think he'll win based on that fact alone.
Even the Pope's rigged, eh?
Everything is
I wonder
rigged.
if we can bet on
well,
the
yeah,
Pope.
because
You probably can.
I'm gonna check that out on my iPad.
you don't vote for a president in the States. You vote for electorate college, right? You don't vote for the Vatican.
Don't hit the table.
The priests and the popes or archbishops and everything vote for that. You don't. I don't have a say on the new pope.
Well, we have
I might if I can gamble on it.
Canadian Cardinals. Yeah, 3 Canadian Cardinals are going to be going to vote on that, and I think technically everybody.
And then the smoke will clear, and then we'll know exactly who's supposed to be the pope.
Strictly speaking, I think everybody is actually eligible to be a pope as
If
long
you're
as you're
Roman
baptized.
Catholic.
That's almost
As
the
long
same.
as you're baptized, you can be the pope.
You can
My
be the
dad
president
could be
as long as you're
Your dad
American.
could be the
Until
pope.
he became Protestant.
Well, if he renounced Protestantism, then he could be the pope.
I think he renounced the whole religion and faith a long
Well,
time
if he
ago.
renounced his renouncing, then he could be the pope.
We're just starting infinite regress on this one.
Oh, you can bet on the next Pope. Right there.
Who's up? Who's up on the line?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Let's see. What do you mean everybody?
Paris Hilton.
Peter Turkson is number one.
What? The fuck is Peter Turkson?
I don't know. They're all
Did I just
Pope.
say Leonardo DiCaprio?
I hope so.
No.
George Pell.
Gianfranco Ravazzi.
These are all a bunch of religious bad. They're
Mark
all like
Roulette
cardinals.
is Canadian.
This guy?
Yeah, the third one down. He's
How
the one
do
of the
you know
Cardinals
these
from Canada. Because I read a news thing on it.
There's a
and they
reason I
mentioned-
brought him in. I brought a ringer into your show.
Yeah. Man, I like it so far.
They mentioned
Don't fuck up.
they mentioned the 3 cardinals from Canada that were going to vote in the next papal election, and Mark Roulette was one of them. And he's, I think he's from Quebec. I can't remember exactly where he's
Yeah, we're on
from.
our last minute here if we're going to stop at the hour mark, eh?
Fuck the hour.
I think we just keep going until we run out of topics.
This is a list of all the popes that you can bet on. On
Pick
bet,
this
Yeah,
one.
I'm
Bet
totally
365.
scroll down
Right here
to
is
the
the
next
best.
screen, and
Yeah.
the next one, and the next screen.
That's so
and the next
crazy
screen.
that you can bet on that. You can bet on
Bet on anything.
the UK. Well, just this website's amazing. You can bet on
I'm gonna bet
royal
that
baby.
it's not gonna be
Yeah.
a gay lesbian pope. I'm gonna bet that it's not gonna be a woman. I'm gonna bet it's probably
Technically,
not gonna be a black guy either.
You could probably bet on that, but what's going to end up happening is that your odds are going to be amazing anyways.
Yeah, it's like a 1-to-1.
Yeah, I'll pay you.
Even though
fucking
they said that the African guy will probably win, he
I'll pay you
probably won't.
25,000 to 1 odds that it's not going to be a gay
We all heard
lesbian
it.
black guy pope.
Let's write that down
just
just as
wanna-
time expires.
the next presidential election.
Go on record saying that.
These guys are saying that Hillary Clinton's going to win.
That'd be interesting. Hillary Clinton doesn't have a lot of support like Obama does because she's made statements. She's ruined healthcare once before.
How awesome would it be if someone like munched on her snatch in the office?
And
just
it wasn't
because-
Bill Clinton.
Just
And it
because
was-
Bill got a
it would
beach,
never
so
be.
she might as well get.
And then she
Hey?
goes home and like
Just one?
she chastises him afterwards too.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you get shit done in the office.
That'd be amazing. I wonder if you can bet on that. The amount of sex scandals that happened with Hillary Clinton in office.
Oh my god, amazing! And just to figure it though, the president is very like not powerful in the states. The prime
Yeah.
minister has a lot more power over government than the president has over.
Yeah,
the
they're just a
states.
face. I think it's really obvious now.
Well, yeah, if you look at the power leading both parties, I mean, it's just obvious that the oil, pork, and whatever industries run the whole show. The
Oil and
weapons-
pork.
oil, pork, and weapons run most of the show.
Guns,
So
pigs, and oil.
it's like that book we were talking about,
Yeah.
Jared Diamond.
Yeah,
and
it's a
that,
new one.
Gun, germs, and pork.
Well, I mean, that was going to be the case anyways. Once you could allow lobbying for government laws and stuff like that, then it's like, well, who can dump more money into the government to get what they want?
The
Yeah,
U.S.
they have
was
more
the
power
first.
than the fucking president, it seems now.
The
Well,
U.S.
What law do you all
it's
pass? Who are you going
indirect.
to talk to first?
Yeah, exactly.
But
But
that was
there's
the
like
thing. Once they
connections.
passed a law that a corporation could have rights like a human, they were doomed. They were doomed from that point on.
And that they don't have. Was like.
So the checks and balance system that they made when they made the Constitution, which was a fantastic Constitution, was null and void from that point on.
Yeah, if you run for candidacy, like say you went in there right now. You,
Smirk at me.
No, sorry, I was thinking, you said checks and balances, and I wanted to make a joke about Czech Republic. And
And that like, liquor that we should be drinking.
So,
right
like,
now.
the Czechs and the Slovaks.
you want some rum? I
got
got rum. You want to start drinking?
I gotta drive soon. I'm gonna drive and work out. Let's stick to that absinthe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You sure
something light.
yeah. A little flavorful.
Something that'll make me fly.
I picked up this stuff, Revelstoke vodka, and it's like spiced vodka, 45%. It's really sweet, but that means it's fantastic for like going tobogganing and getting smashed while you're flying down a hill. So,
So that's your new thing.
That's my new thing.
The last time I went tobogganing, I hit my head too, actually.
Yeah.
I was on a skateboard with a piece of wood nailed to it, and we were trying to snowboard down the hill on this skateboard with a piece of wood attached to it. And I made it 3/4, and then it turned. I was facing up the hill. I caught an edge and just back of the head right into like the solid ground. And I was like, yeah, think my night's over.
Yeah.
Think my night's over.
Have you ever tried natural snow skate?
I tried snowboarding a few times. And
There's like little skateboards.
Oh, no.
With like a little ski on the bottom.
No, I would definitely. Every time I go down a hill on something, I get hurt. I went off a jump on 20-foot hill.
When was the last time you went down a hill on something soberly? Soberly?
I was sober that year. That was my birthday. We were just starting to drink when I went down the skateboard, but I don't
Just
really.
starting to.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't
Skateboard down the hill? Makes
I didn't
sense.
drink until I was 27, so I didn't.
Ever?
I didn't drink till I was 27.
No, I mean, like,
So-
did you ever have a drink before
Well,
you were
said what?
27 years old?
I mean, I've had sips of things, but I never got drunk. I never
Really?
I never liked it, and I was like hanging out with straight edge drug free guys, so I was definitely not
Oh, yeah,
drinking from a certain point on, like especially from like 14 or 16 on.
I remember those years.
Yeah, I remember
Not-
drinking
not years
Mickey's
in
in
my
parking
life.
lots when I was that young.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, I didn't drink in toboggan very
Behind
much.
the
I only
middle
went
school
that
behind
one
my
time.
house.
And that time I wasn't really drunk. And then when I hit the hill, I was definitely sober after that point. I was just,
I need to cope.
wow,
You gotta get drunk before the pain kicks in.
that was a rough day. But no, I didn't. I went snowboarding once. I went off a jump and landed on my tailbone, and my spine's kind of been twisted ever since at the bottom. And I kind of paralyzed myself. Had to crawl up the hill. It's good times.
Fuck out of here, really?
Wow.
Yeah, so I can't do sprawls. Like if you ever see when people are doing sprawls at Toronto Nogi, whatever we do there, I can't do them. Like my hips will hurt for.
I was gonna say, how does that
weeks
affect you
and
now?
weeks. I can't do sprawls. I can't get dumped on my tailbone. I can't really do takedowns properly, but I can do like hip tosses, like,
You like
shoulder rolls.
Takedowns at all? Like single leg?
I can do takedowns, but I can't be taken down repeatedly without like feeling it for the next.
Okay, hold on. So you can't take me down.
Hey, we said we weren't talking about this.
No, I'm just taking mental notes.
You can take as many mental notes as you
Sprawl.
want.
I can dump
You
you.
need to dump him into a sprawl.
Yeah. How do I do that?
You know what though? The
What's
mats
that
at your
mean?
place, the mats at
just
Nogi are
words.
so soft. It's not. I'm not going to feel a thing there, anyways.
They're
It's
stuffed
too
with,
extremely
they're stuffed with goose
hard.
down.
Put some lay some asphalt down. Don't
should
need
do it.
that. See, I'm used to fighting on like concrete tile floors, like mosh pits. Like
Tile floors would be bad. Concrete would really fuck up your knees.
I've gone mouth first into like wooden floors. I've gone back of my head first into tile floors. It's all the same to me at this point. The fact that I get to train on matted surfaces all the time is pretty fantastic, actually.
That's the one thing I heard about break falling. Is that if
get
you
used
do
to
it
it.
on mats, but if you
Yeah.
if it becomes like a muscle memory, break falling is when you fall on your back and you slam your.
Oh, your
Your
arms
hands.
to kind of stop you. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spread your momentum.
But if
You
you,
don't
do
want to
that,
hit with that side of your hands, though. Just
well, no, if you do that, say it becomes like a habit when you lay
Yeah.
on your back, but you do it outside like a street fight or something. It's just habit.
Yeah.
And you break your wrists
no.
or something.
Yeah.
You will if you slam your hands on the sidewalk. That just hurts. Fuck my neighbors. But it's gonna really hurt your wrists after a while.
You're not supposed to hit with that side. You're supposed to hit with the fleshy side all the time.
Well,
And,
yeah, well, my point is like if you just
you just want to hit the neighbors.
yeah, man, they techno when I'm hungover. I don't care. Fuck them.
Anyways, no, actually, the way that your hand's designed, if you're used to doing them from years and years of judo or jujitsu, assuming
Not that we're talking about
assuming
that.
you do break falls at your jujitsu place, clearly you don't do them enough if you're doing them like that.
Well,
but
the example that you'll break your hands on the wall.
you won't break your hand because it's padded here. What it will do is absorb the impact for your spine and for the rest of your body so that you can absorb the impact properly. And again, you have to work on taking break falls hard. Like you can start slow and build your way up, but you have to take them hard at some point to get used to the actual impact of hitting the ground. And you will be conditioned for it when it does happen. And it's happened to me multiple times. I've done break falls. I've slapped, like in capoeira, you slap punching bags. So you get your hand conditioned that way for the slaps in capoeira because they do slaps.
Wouldn't it be almost better just to kind of roll with it and then roll it off your back and then back on your feet?
Yeah, but you're not going to hit the ground in a roll. You're going to hit the ground at an
Well,
awkward
how are we
angle.
assuming that you get to the ground?
Doesn't matter. Break falls work in all angles.
Well, that's what I mean. If you push me and I get tripped, I almost want to rather roll backwards and then back up
So
to my
you're
feet.
going to have 2 or 3 impact points in your spine. Your spine sticks out when you try to roll, so you're probably going to have great trauma.
Well, by the way,
Trauma.
I only get in street fights when I'm drunk, so I won't feel that until the next day.
Fair enough, but then you might have an inflamed spine and not be able to train in whatever sport you do for the next month or so.
Whatever sport it is that
Whatever
we do.
weightlifting, powerlifting, steroid-ridden sport we do. But no, it's dangerous not to do break falls properly. You really want to do.
That's
them
what I mean. Like my
properly,
wrist kind of hurts.
because you're doing them wrong. You don't even want to slap up here. You definitely want to slap more so down here. This is where pro wrestlers slap and pratfall artists.
You mean that
slap.
shit? That's not legit.
You don't want to slap up here.
Joking.
If you want to
Wrestling, not
if you want to
legit?
have
Not
What?
proper techniques.
if you want to have a bad neck like Chris Benoit, please work on your break falls. Work head first, jumping into the ground. Like,
Did you ever see Undertaker's little go-go? He used to do go-go's all the time.
yeah, that would kill people if you do that in real life.
It was hilarious.
He was either jumping go-go plata, didn't he? Pretty much.
I
as a
fucking
finisher.
hope so. I haven't seen that, but I like it.
I think that's what it was. From what, but all that stuff's like they're all ready for it.
Real.
They're, like super conditioned athletes too.
Yeah.
Those guys take serious bumps. I did security
Oh, yeah.
for some companies, and
Did you meet any of those guys?
I met. I think the biggest name would have been Ultimo Dragon, but like Chris.
I've never heard of him, but he
That's a
sounds
badass
awesome.
name, yeah.
Oh, he was in WCW for like 10 years. He was
Oh, yeah.
he was around. He was a Japanese guy turned Mexican wrestling star.
Japanese turned Mexican. Like, that's gonna be
Wow,
some
well,
interesting
that's intense,
diet.
man.
Yeah, he was just fantastic at what he did. He looked like he was about 25 years old when I met him, and I think he was 42 or something like that. He just
Fun side note, when I went out tobogganing drunk last week, I was wearing my luchador mask.
What color is
that's
it?
when we
Yellow.
were next to
Yes.
the
Golden,
short mask.
golden,
Nice.
silver, and black.
I trained this guy in Brampton, this 13-year-old boy, Saul, and his father gave me a lucha libre mask that he'd had since the 50s. So I have a 60-year-old lucha libre mask in my car, which you cannot breathe properly through. I don't know how people wrestle with them on, but like it has no hole for the mouth. Like it has like a little slot, and like it doesn't open wide. It's just like a little slot. And there's nothing for you to breathe through your nose. So I don't know how they wrestle with that on.
So is that real wrestling or is that fake? I've never really watched it.
Lucha Libre is a bit more technical than.
But is it still like a
pro
theatrical
wrestling.
thing, or
It's
is
still
it-
planned, it's still choreographed.
Yeah.
Like they still have school for it. Like they're not trying to hurt each
It's
other.
not an actual wrestling match.
It's not like the wrestling that we were talking about earlier, like catch as catch can wrestling, where they're actually doing like submission style
a
wrestling, like
Olympic
Farmer
wrestling?
Burns and like all that kind of stuff, where guys actually did like drops on their neck, like on a noose, 6 feet drops, and they would live because their necks were so conditioned for it, right? So these are guys that like seriously took their condition to like a whole new level. And if you look at like I think it's physical hygiene or like the culture, physical hygiene culture that came out in the 1908 era of the States for wrestlers and for not powerlifters but for bodybuilders at the time, just fantastic athletes, and the people that would do like the polar bear dives, and they're just a different kind of tough.
Would you try that? Polar bear dive?
Oh, I don't like the cold. I used to do cold showers all the time, and I kind of
By choice?
Yeah,
I did
I
one
would-
by
I
I
accident.
remember
It's
this from the
horrible.
shoe planning
I would do. Yeah, I would
because
do.
we wouldn't have hot water for the first shift that we were working, and Nick was like, "Yeah, that's fine."
That's fine, whatever. And after
So
like
fucking
ice cold
after
water.
a day in the sun of planting, and you go in, and it's like, whoa, all right. I feel like you feel refreshed right away.
No, you don't. I feel horrible. I don't even like
I would
jumping
go
into a
from-
swimming pool.
I would
in
go from
summertime.
boxing, take a cold shower, and then put my jujitsu stuff on and go somewhere and do something else. But like I'd be refreshed.
That wasn't jiu-jitsu.
It wasn't jujitsu. I
No.
would do judo or something else.
In my jiu-jitsu stuff.
In my jujitsu gear, my jujitsu belt.
I was gonna ask you something. I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, are you gonna try that Tough Mudder thing? You
I
heard
was
about that?
asked to do that, and I didn't win the Employee of the Year award, so I don't have to. But I probably.
Wait, what?
I said I would do it if I won the award, because it was a money thing. I just don't have the money this year, and the timing just not.
How much
right.
is it?
It's not that much, but
It's you just got fired.
But it's like, yeah, I just got fired.
Which we
I
never
don't have a
talked
lot
about.
of money, and like, it's not a lot of money to join it, but it's like you got to take a day off work, got to do this, got to do that. It's a
Yeah.
sacrifice that I don't want to take for my new business. Oh, by the
What's-
way,
What's involved with the Tough Mudder?
I think it's just like
electrocution.
yeah, it's a crazy like course, and they have you'll go through like a swampland, and then you go through everything. Here, I'll just try to find it.
Like
Where's my thing?
it's an endurance trial of sorts. And at the end of it, you have to go through an era where you're covered in water already, where they have like
Live current running through a puddle?
I can't remember, it's tasers that you have to go through, or
Yeah,
like you have
it's
to
like
go
it's
under
like
barbed
strips
wire.
with water
with
like going down, and then it's all electric. So whenever you hit any of the like a ribbon,
You're
get
gonna hit
electrocuted.
like at least 5 to 10, I think, on your way through. Like, you're gonna get electrocuted.
I want to show you the video,
I'm
but
not really
That's
cool with that, but
disgusting.
I can deal with it. It's just like I don't really want to pay to deal with that. Like I already go through enough pain in my life.
Fair enough.
Pain.
Fair enough.
My name is Farah.
Who is it? Yes!
Simon, you gonna get any of these today? Or
Fuck
what?
no,
I'm hosting. I don't need this shit.
Yeah.
You're the new Regis.
You guys talk. I'm just gonna do this.
Cool. While you're working on the new Pope.
Oh, a buddy of mine was going through.
Got $20 on some guy I can't pronounce.
Buddy of mine was like going through police training and stuff, and part of their training is like getting pepper sprayed and getting tasered.
Yeah.
And he told me this one guy was this enormous motherfucker. They're doing their taser training, and everybody gets shot with the taser and like immediately drops to the ground and starts flopping like a fish and all of that stuff. This guy gets hit with the taser, drops to one knee, grunts, rips it out of his chest, and then stands up again.
I don't know. I've seen tests on guys that are like indestructible, can't be choked, can't be knocked out by anything, and like they put a taser and they drop immediately. So I don't know. That guy like must be like a cyborg of some sort,
I think so.
He's just
or
into some weird shit.
a non-robot plastic man of sorts. Like I don't understand it. Like it should stop your heart. Like that's what it's doing, is stopping your heart. So if your heart's not working, you should fall to the ground. Like it sends electric current through you. It's not like,
of course.
it's not like heating you up.
Maybe
A little quick brain.
I don't know if you can like condition yourself to get used to being electrocuted, and maybe that.
Well, Bruce Lee
happened.
was trying to do that, I think, and that was near
Why?
near the end. He was
Just
using those electroshock
anti-tasers?
things to work on building muscle tone and like
like
yeah,
Dr.
it's-
Ho.
Oh, but he wasn't doing it to like be used to being tasered.
No, not for that.
It's like, oh, fuck you guys.
but like if you think about it, it's the
Pepper
same.
spray himself, get tased, bitch. Sorry.
It's the same.
There are guys
Just
who are
laugh at the
immune.
cops.
There are guys who are
Pussies.
immune to pepper spray already.
Well, that what's his face? That wrestler. Everyone was afraid of him. He inhaled pepper spray when they sprayed it on him.
Is this real
Broke-
wrestling?
This is pro wrestling. He broke the handcuffs that he was in and like beat up like 12 cops. Like,
Oh,
"You are
so this
not
wasn't like
arresting me."
part of the show. It's like, ugh.
No, this is like he's in a bar getting out of hand. They're trying to arrest him, and he's not like Andre the Giant size. He was like about 280, 300 pounds, which is massive. But like
Yeah.
with 12 cops, normally that slows a guy down or something. Pepper spray. I think Jake the Snake said the funniest thing about him is like, if I ever had to try and kill him, I forget his name, but if I ever tried to kill him, I would want a handgun and a tank. Because if the handgun or if the tank didn't work, I'd want to have a gun to shoot myself. Because he's gonna come get me and he's gonna break that tank. And he was unstoppable. They said like as a wrestler, he was great to work with just because like he knew he was playing around. But like when they actually see him got to work like in fights, they said he was unstoppable. Like absolutely, you could not stop him.
Ever been electrocuted?
No.
Yes.
And that was
Yeah.
We
one of my life goals to get
Really?
struck by lightning.
Fuck, I could take care of that in like 20
no,
minutes.
to get struck by lightning.
Oh,
was
like
a life goal.
I could probably handle.
I
that.
can just join Tough Mudder and get
Define-
electrocuted.
define lightning.
Tough Mudder, like a taser, is not electrocution or not a lightning bolt.
Okay, well then I guess that doesn't count. But I mean, like there was a cattle fence with
That counts.
Yeah, and
That's not a lightning bolt.
No, it was a group of us, and
That's
so like
electrocution.
not everybody had the balls to grab the fence. We came up with this great idea where we all joined hands, and then the farmer grabbed the fence for everybody, and the current went through everyone.
Why would he grab the fence? I wouldn't ever want to do that. It's
Because
horrible.
well, he was used to it. He'd done this before.
That's true.
He's the new Bruce Lee.
Yeah, seriously.
I got
Dies from
electrocuted.
Farm
mysterious
kids, man. I'm
causes.
telling you.
I got electrocuted by a
curse.
shitty fridge. I was cleaning it at work, and there's an outlet in the back, and I was unplugging something. I got fucking electrocuted at work. Didn't sue. I could be in a way nicer place.
Oh,
I
Or
don't know.
you have to
Had
fight
it.
it for years and not get a settlement
Ah,
after
fuck
all
him.
that time.
also when I was
Can't
3,
say where it was.
when I was 3 years old, I stuck a butter knife in
G?
an outlet.
Butter knife in what?
An outlet.
Why? Butter.
Because I was 3.
A good reason.
I almost swallowed a penny at 4.
I did swallow a penny at 4.
It just got caught.
One upped. Did you see that? One upped.
Yeah, I just choked on it for a few seconds.
Threw up, passed out.
Almost. My dad
This
knocked it
definitely-
out of me.
This fits into the
It
whole
was one of
drink.
the times when this violence actually helped me. Most of the time, it was
I
just
shouldn't laugh at
anger,
that.
not violence.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
So it's
So
like
that's
more awkward laughter than actually humor laughter.
This fits right into the game Drunk or Kid. It's where you just tell stories of stupid things you've done and you have to guess whether you were just a kid or
Oh, that's
you were really
amazing!
drunk.
Why are we doing this now?
All right, we're done with this podcast.
Let's do one round of that. No, fuck it. Let's not. We'll do that next time.
Rode a shopping cart down a hill, hit
Oh god.
hit a sewer grate, got catapulted out, landed on my hands and knees, and got like bloody as fuck from it.
I'm gonna go with drunk.
Kid.
I was a kid.
Fuck!
I
I thought for sure.
I did the shopping cart as a kid too. I didn't get hurt that much though. My friend saw the Jackass movies, was in a shopping cart, and they're pushing it really fast to hit the grass, it wipes out. He's flying, turns last second, broke his collarbone.
Ugh.
It's the same guy who's gonna go out on tour. They'd just seen another stupid movie like Jackass or something, and they were throwing him from shoulder to shoulder, from one guy to another. Then the second guy's like, all right, you ready to jump off? So he pushes him up like this, like he's going to jump him off. So when you think about the dynamics of pushing somebody up by their knees, they kind of just fall backwards. So as you're falling backwards, you put your hands out like this. So he broke his wrist.
Oh.
And the next day, when he goes out on tour with a cast on his hand, the guitarist is like, hey Adam, can I see your hand for a second? He's like, sure, Paul. What's up? Punches it. It's like, oh, dude, man, what's that about? He's like, I could have been mad all tour, or I'm just happy now. We're good. That's how they did it in that band. That was awesome. They had a fart rule, too. If you farted, you had to roll the windows up and just deal with it.
It's the worst.
Why?
That was a gross tour. I did
There was
the
an
East Coast
asshole who
tour.
used to do that to me when I was working. I work for a moving company. We get into the elevator that's like loaded full of stuff. As soon as the doors
shit
close,
himself?
he just basically shits his pants.
Uh,
Oh, it was unreal. Every goddamn day. I punched him as much as I could. It didn't make a difference. He was
Just more comes out.
yeah, it's made it more gassy, isn't it?
Which brings us back to planetary amnesia.
Oh,
Velikovsky.
planetarium. Those are some serious farts.
No,
You don't want to talk about
I don't wanna
Chicago's
talk.
tougher gun laws. That's not an argument we want to. It'll take too long. It's too technical.
I sure do wish Obama would just get assassinated. What?
Whoa!
Assassinated by
Love
love,
Rabbits.
and admiration.
Assassinated by admiration.
by the New World Order.
I'm tired.
What are the logistics of that? Illuminati.
I don't believe in the Illuminati.
I don't believe that you don't believe in the Illuminati.
You're right. I believe in the Illuminati.
How do you not? You have to. Jay-Z all day.
The eye in the pyramid. It means everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. It's on their money.
Not really.
How is it not?
And
I
also
feel
the
that
pyramid's
most
a
of,
symbol of
most of
enlightenment.
NASA's symbols are like from ancient Egypt and so on.
Yeah, and also the American dollar isn't even owned by the American government.
It was.
It's not.
It was. And then they had to
There's two-
deregulate, so they
there
just
was
sell
two
off all the
presidents-
public assets.
There was two presidents that printed their own money.
Like outside of the
Lincoln
Treasury?
and Kennedy.
It also used to be old.
There was those shot in
Yeah, I
the
was gonna say,
head.
look how that went for Kennedy.
There used to be 5 or 6 competing currencies,
Yeah.
and some of them had historical facts written on them.
Huh.
Educated
Like little
the public.
fun fact trivia thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
On your money.
I heard that there's like 20 non-competing, but like other currencies in New York State alone, like just people making their own.
Not
currency.
now.
Like no, like now, like Canadian Tire money kind of stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
But like just like people are sick of the actual money system, so they're like, we're gonna make this, and they're harder to counterfeit. They're better made, and like they're just.
well,
smarter
who's making
designed.
it though?
Bitcoin.
Because obviously it's not real money.
What makes money real? Somebody
Well, you can take.
rubs a magic wand across it.
Well,
like
no, you
Albert
can take an
Einstein
American
Wilson.
50 and go anywhere in the world and they'll accept it. But I don't think anyone will accept these other ones that you're talking about.
I'm sure I could counterfeit a 50 and bring it around the world, and like they wouldn't know the difference.
That's a
take a
very
piece of
good
paper,
point.
write 50 on it, and hand it to
if you
somebody.
If you go to Cuba with like some African money, like
When
some,
people
some
show me
small country that
50
they're
trillion Zimbabwe
yeah, if you take
dollars.
like a 20 in Canadian, they're gonna know. But if you take it from like some country that no one's really heard of, they probably won't really even know that much.
When people show me IDs from around the world, I have a booklet that
Probably won't
went-
accept it though. So
I accept
before
it immediately. But
What?
like, there's a book I went through once where I read 150 different countries worth of IDs in one shift. So figure out how many of those I remembered. I looked for the specific
all of
things
them?
on them. Exactly.
You're,
every
you're,
little
You're
spot.
professional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm a professional, right? I stopped the shooting inside the club.
I also
It
stopped
only
the
happened
shooting.
outside the club.
I didn't stop the shooting.
I shouldn't laugh. That's not funny.
Nobody got hurt.
Nobody hurts, so it's fine.
Oh, okay.
But,
So good.
but I did stop the
Those
guys from
pricks.
getting inside the club, so that was good. They didn't say they had guns though. They had their hands on the guns outside. Someone lit firecrackers, and they
No
15
way.
shots straight up.
15. The first 14 weren't enough. You needed one more.
Well, there was 2 or 3 guys.
The last one was like
And I
the
saw-
period at the end of the sentence.
You just wait for like half.
It's 14.
The
14 I'm not
500
taking you seriously.
Yeah.
Still pretty.
The
pretty light.
500 kids are running in separate directions.
Like those kids in the fucking asteroid video.
What?
There's the asteroid video. And
Yeah, it was kind of similar to that. They just sort of spread out in every direction. It was kind of scary to do security through an event like that, but not really.
We had a guy come to a bar I used to work in, not the one I work at now.
Jiu-jitsu?
The one I work at now. And some guy, there was like a argument at the bar, and then my buddy who does security went to the bar and he's like, you guys got to like stop. It wasn't a big deal at all, but I guess that there's two groups that hated each other. So one guy comes up behind my security guard friend and says, "Yo, I got your back." Lifts up his shirt. He has a machete under his shirt, pulled in his pants, like down his pant leg. He's like, "Fucking machete." Brought to a bar just to have a machete. Nothing. He didn't go get it and come back. He just had it.
Yeah.
And you never fucking know who has a fucking machete in their pants.
Wow.
Yeah, if you don't do searches at the door, you really don't know.
But
who has what.
even like a handle, I guess you could pat down. But like if you do his leg, like you may not feel a blade.
You'll feel a machete on somebody.
It's like is that a machete, or you just
machetes are fucking huge.
Like the thing about the
or are you just
checklist,
really flat dicked?
the one, it was funny. I was doing.
It's hard to steal.
We're trying to get a new woman ready for the job, and I'm like, "Hey, search me, find something on me, and like she does a search.
Meanwhile,
and
he
I'm
had
like,
syringes, like dirty ones, in his pocket.
she didn't find a Coke
Okay.
can in my hoodie pouch. I'm like,
Really?
"Are you sure you're up for the task here? Like that's a pretty obvious place to put something."
Remember we went to the fights and they didn't find you had one of these bottles.
I had a bottle in my pants.
Who's gonna like cop your dick? I'm like,
They didn't touch my dick. They didn't touch anywhere in this area.
Yeah.
Like it's like this is some foreign zone to touch this spot here on a dude, like or a woman. Like
Whoa, bro. I mean, safety and everything, but I'm not gay.
Yo, bro, do you even lift? Don't touch my stomach. No, it's just funny. Like the things that people overlook. But if I do a pat down on you right now,
Are you patting me?
yeah, arms out.
All right.
Okay, so your arms are out. So you go all the way down each arm. You go around back. You'll ask you to take the hat out. Sometimes you'll look inside the brim. Then put the hat back on. Other arm around. You press yourself up against the front, so you'll feel the difference.
You want to like put some tenderness in with your shoulder.
Yeah.
and then you go
You're
down.
gonna wine and dine me first.
And like you're gonna check and you're gonna say, I need to see that from your pocket. And you're gonna all the way down. And you're checking like you'll notice if things aren't tight or if there's things bulging around. You'll see things like a machete. I hope. I hope you see a machete.
We have some
fucking
semi-large knives. I'll go put one somewhere.
Now there were
We're
some
not
guys
doing
that
that
would
again.
stick shit right into their like junk, and I
Yeah,
would
they
not probably catch them with their fucking lighters and their cocaine. I don't really care. About
Yeah, I was
that.
gonna say, what if you throw like a dime bag like in your?
We didn't care about drugs at that place. They were allowed to smoke pot in the patio, so it was kind of like Amsterdam. Like you could sort of smuggle any drug you wanted in, but we had to take your lighters because you couldn't smoke inside. Yeah, figure that out.
But you
Because
sold-
people would just smoke pot inside. They're like, oh man, this is how we do.
Yeah, we had that at our bar.
Yeah,
Not the one
like-
I work at, but another bar.
But, like,
and they
just-
smoke weed in like they would turn into like a dance floor nightclub thing
Yeah.
Yeah.
at a different bar, and it was like at a different university, and they have these. They
Not
have
the one
these.
where that jiu-jitsu tournament is this weekend.
No. But what's jujitsu? So they have theme nights where it's like different groups, and one happened to be like an African group or one of those things. And apparently,
Yeah.
it's very common
Yeah,
with
smoke
to
indoors
smoke
and-
weed inside clubs and bars, like now.
And it's like
Friday night.
it's something
tonight.
you can't tell them not to do because
Because
you're
they'll
gonna
fucking kill
you're
you.
gonna have to fight 4 or 5
Yeah,
guys at
and
once.
that's the thing. We essentially let it happen
Yeah.
at a different bar, and there's nothing like we had hired security, we had the staff security, and they just didn't do shit. They just smoked weed inside because you'd have so much bigger problems.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
what they look,
Just
what they're
threaten people.
looking
You can
for,
do whatever the fuck you want.
what they're looking for from security at those places is to make sure there's no fights. If
And there
they're
was nothing
smoking
because
drugs
they're
and having
high.
a good time. Yeah, exactly. They're high. They're having a good time. Everything's good in my eyes.
Yeah.
Now I don't care if people smoke inside. It's just kind of annoying that I can't smoke while they're smoking.
It's more of a jealousy factor.
Yeah, but I was at the end of the job. I was smoking there too on shift because they're just like whatever. Like I'm at work and like I smoke before work, I smoke after work anyway. So this doesn't make any difference to what's going on here, except they always loaded it with tobacco, which is bullshit. But
Just
regardless,
to make sure that it burns smoother, not that I would
no,
know.
it burns
Not that I would
slower
know.
and it hits harder.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that though.
I
So
quit
that the cess, which doesn't hit hard anyways, hits you a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Chris Brown.
Whoa! Snap.
yeah, all right.
Is that
yeah, that's good.
enough?
That's why it's
Finally, I'm included.
adding
It
the
hits
brown.
harder. And
Adding
like,
the brown.
It burns slower. Yeah. all
Yeah.
right.
Finally, I'm in.
That was like a double one too. Actually, now that I'm thinking about
Yeah,
it, that's pretty good.
I liked it.
All right, let's end on that note.
All right.
Oh, it was one
Jits Monkey, thank you very much for
Oh,
having
buddy.
me here
Thank you for coming.
the first and final time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, fuck, man. Finally, number one comes out. This is the third time we've done this.
Third time you've done number one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's horrible.
As
through
opposed to
no
2
fault
times
of
I've done number
anyone.
I was gonna say, speaking of security,
We just shook hands.
I know I'm still going.
I like it.
My one of my coworkers did moving in Australia. They go to get this guy's bed done, and a fucking Magnum falls off of the bed onto the floor and discharges through the wall.
Ooh.
And they're like, "What the fuck?" Because they could have been hit by that.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea that it was there. The guy didn't say a word of it. And they're like, "So we found this on your bed under your pillow, and maybe are there any more guns in the house?" 5 hidden around the house. That he decided that he just wasn't going to tell the people who were moving all of his stuff that he had lying around the house.
Aren't you?
And loaded too.
Aren't you planning on being a
yeah.
mover?
I got fired yesterday, so I'm.
You got fired from moving?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you started yet.
I should never accept a shift when I can't get any sleep the night before. That's my fault. But when you tell your supervisor that you're going out the whole night in Niagara Falls, and they say, "Yeah, that's fine,"
Yeah, it's fun.
and then they say the shift is 5 hours, but it's actually 13 hours. That's my fault, apparently.
Oh, you told me about that. I didn't know it was
That's
a
because
moving.
that's because that's business as usual. You
I
should
thought-
be used to the fact that if they say 5 hours, it's actually going to be another 8 hours past that. That's normal, right?
I'm
expect
happy.
that. I expect to work till about 6 in the morning today.
Yeah. I don't need sleep. It's totally legal.
We have coffee. I work in a bar. Not the one I was just talking about.
No,
Jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu bar.
Have you guys ever hit up that Vapor Lounge place? I don't know if you are into weed or not, but I got really into comedy bars, and it's right around the corner. We should go there. But they actually...
You're the one that still smokes weed, I guess.
they're-
I quit 3 weeks ago. Sorry, man.
when are you coming back?
Everything's falling apart in my life. Everything's changing right now. One of my businesses is successful. Oh yes, I run a jiu-jitsu company.
Not that we're talking about
Plugs.
it. Plug your shit.
Plug.
We're almost done.
I can't think of it now. Everything's happening so fast.
Pressure.
I'm
what's the
partnering
name?
up with a Muay Thai school in Brampton. By the time you guys see this, it should be made official. Hopefully,
Wait,
we sign
when-
the contracts.
When's that?
Mid-March, I'm opening.
Oh, this is going to be out on like Wednesday. But no one's probably going to listen to it.
Okay, then I don't know exactly where I'm opening up. Nothing's been announced for sure. I'm only opening up for like my loyal guys that have already paid me. April 1st, Fool's Day, is the official opening.
appropriate.
Yeah, exactly. It's totally appropriate day for me to open up a business. April 1st is the official day for my opening, and hopefully I have more than 3 people there. So that should be pretty
I'll
good.
try to be there, even though I don't do anything that you're talking
I'm
about.
going to have our friend Carlos there videotaping the whole day long.
Oh, yeah?
Going to go from Sheridan Jiu-Jitsu. No, we're not talking about Jiu-Jitsu. To my other
You're plugging
jiu-jitsu
now. I
class.
guess it's acceptable.
It's acceptable for a plug, but nothing else.
Yeah.
Chris Brown.
I'll allow it. Chris Brown.
Just throw that name in random sentences.
Jiu-jitsu. But yeah, so hopefully that turns out good. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I got a lot of support so far from my other programs, so hopefully it all comes together in this one. And if not, I'm fucked. I gotta get another shitty moving job.
Yeah,
Dave, thank you very much for the job.
no problem. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. It was a good shift. The money's gonna come in right when I need
Did you
it.
fire him? Because that'd be amazing.
It
Oh
would
my
have been
god,
so
that
good.
would have been so good.
I would have.
This interview's over. You fired me.
We didn't actually hire you. Well, we did, but that was just so that we could.
You're on
fire you.
probation, so it's not really like you got fired.
It's like I never had a job to
Do
begin
you at least
with.
get paid, or you just...
Yeah, I'll get paid. The money's gonna come right when I need it too, so it's like it's perfect.
That's all right.
And as it turns out, like it probably is a bullet that I dodged. So, like many that I've dodged that Dave has taken for me.
No, I'm just saying, like that's
You've
not
taken one
entirely
too many for
unusual.
the team, JFK.
So many. I feel like I'm surrounded by grassy knolls.
I was gonna bring
And I'm
up
Lee
JFK,
Harvey
but-
Oswald shooting that guy in the grassy knoll, and here we go.
Yeah.
Wow, with the trajectory and the bullet range.
It was actually, buddy, aliens.
Well, didn't they say it was like 2 homeless guys on a grassy knoll? But they had like perfectly cut pants and like.
Two grass.
Didn't they have like big eyes and their heads were kind of misshapen and they were really
There
skinny?
was some
and-
show that had them as aliens in the grassy knoll. There was 3 points.
Shut up!
We're doing an interview here. There was 3
Have some
points.
respect.
3 points where they supposedly shot from, because there was like 6 gunshots supposedly that went off.
That's right, and one of them was like reflecting one of the bullets.
Yeah,
I just
the
made that
bullet,
up.
the magic bullet hit midair.
Go on.
And I haven't read this book, but I endorse Jim Mars. He wrote about actual Mars, didn't he? Like,
He wrote about a lot of things. What is it? Where?
I read another book about it, and I watched the actual JFK investigation.
You wrote it with the hit?
With
Huh?
what's
You
his
put it
face?
with the tragically hip.
Oh yeah, I found
What's the guy's name that actually did the investigation, like the trial? Like Jim Garrison?
Yeah,
Jim Garrison.
yeah. That's in the
That
movie.
guy's
It's
fucking
Kevin
paranoid
Costner.
as shit, man. Like he's actually like legitimately paranoid. Like
Oh, yeah. Well,
he like
kinda has
harassed
to be.
people and like he did things that were totally unprofessional, but like he was also on to things that were like being covered up and like shit was going on, but like
How many of these fucking things do I have?
Secret and Suppressed had an interesting topic or an interesting chapter about JFK the movie and the investigation that followed.
I thought this had.
You can talk about the OJ case.
There it is.
If I did it.
The magic bullet thing, which is just silly.
What? Oh,
The magic bullet.
yeah. Then it hit in 3 different points, came back around and left, like fell on the ground,
And you guys aren't.
and was still perfect.
And you're not
Still
Seinfeld
fully
fans,
intact.
eh? Because they make fun of that. It's pretty
Back
good.
and to the left.
Yeah.
They made fun of that in pro wrestling too, actually.
Where? How? Who? Tell me everything.
NWO, Kevin Nash and Rick Hall, or
Rick Hall's a bitch.
Kevin Hall and Rick Nash. I don't know what those guys' names were. Scott Hall and
Those
Kevin
dudes
Nash.
with the names.
Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
They
Back and to the
muscles.
left. Back and to the left. Back and to the left. And Lee Harvey Oswald's like from the left, shooting like the other way. So he'd be going to the right, forward to the right, forward and to the right. The Zapruder film's that kind of flawed though. It looks like it's been edited highly.
No, it's the '60s, man. The personal handheld cameras are so shit back then.
By the time
My iPhone has a better camera.
by the time that
Of course it does.
Yeah, true.
I remember
And
my
he, like-
parents. Now, my parents shelled $300 to buy a fucking 6-megapixel camera. Way back in the day.
Yeah. Fucking good old days.
Remember when I paid $1,200 for the digital camera? They finally
Okay.
found a bad picture of Christopher Dorner, eh? That guy's like all smiles and cheery, like medals for killing how many people around the world, and every picture of him is just
Yeah.
like a nice guy and everything, like trying to expose the LAPD and just gets destroyed. And everybody systematically ignores what he said about the LAPD and how racist and how like they go after their own cause.
Somebody made a comment about that. They're like, finally, the LAPD is like looking for a colored person who has actually done something wrong or something like this.
But he didn't.
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
Did he even go to jail for that?
No.
No, because again, like
I don't
most
think he pressed
domestics,
She
she didn't
just
press
took-
charges.
yeah, she just took
because
it.
it's up to her. It's not up to the arresting police officer, even though she obviously lost that fight. But from what I could tell, it was a fight. Like he
And then
did
he got
suffer
the tattoo.
injuries. Yeah,
That tattoo's fucked.
no comment.
You know,
Fuck
do
that guy.
you think it's unfucked?
Those two are fucked, both of them.
Yeah.
What she sings about in her songs is fucked, and like the fact that kids listen to it all the time is fucked. like,
Yep.
like, and then the
Agreed.
fact that Whitney Houston
Whitney Brown?
Whitney Houston had like flags lowered throughout the states everywhere. You crackhead.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was
she was
watching-
a huge cokehead.
I was watching an old roasts, and like Farrah Fawcett was on there, and she was a wreck. Courtney Love was on the roast of Pamela Anderson.
Oh, she
That was
a mess.
hilarious.
That was amazing.
You,
Oh my
see,
god.
who is it? It's like, how do you look worse than Kurt Cobain?
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, they were fucking ruthless, but like at one point a security guard had to come out because she was all over the place the entire night. Apparently she was sober.
Well, she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would happen, I guess. Scott Hall. Scott Hall sobers up from drugs and like can't stand so without seizures and shit.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like on that
Yes.
celebrity rehab thing, the withdrawals are just ridiculous. The one guy died. The guy from Greece who was on it.
Just please say John Travolta. Please say John
Yeah.
Travolta. Please say they replaced him with a robot.
No. Is he gay or not? I think he's gay.
He's a Scientologist. He doesn't need to be.
I went
anything.
through.
He's transcended homosexuality into super homosexuality.
Hey, Ma, the hair. The hair, Ma. Fucking guy. We still haven't talked about OJ.
You want to talk about OJ?
Not really.
No.
It's 422.
We should go.
Oh
Wasn't
wow,
there some-
I have
we
I
got
have
some
a
workouts
fucking
to do.
weightlifting class at 5.
Olympic weightlifting. We're
you-
gonna get
are-
Dave ready for the 2020 Wrestling Olympics.
Are you gonna
Dawn
be-
Wrestling Olympics.
Are you going to be an Olympic guy before it gets cut?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
They're gonna cut the weightlifting next.
It's like, man, I was so fucking ready for that.
I took
Tell
all
your-
these PEDs and now I got nothing to do with all this fucking rage.
Nick, you're still teaching, right?
Yes.
We could just tell everyone that we were going to be in the Olympics for 2020. And then it got cut. So at least we can tell our grandkids.
Hey,
Wait, you
So
mean
we're
like
almost
you, you
Olympians.
mean like you change your diet so that you look better? Or?
Yeah, I'll figure something out. I don't need pictures.
I feel like wrestling can go the same route as like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu does without the Olympics, and which is just like they go underground, they refine their roots, they find the top of the class, they make their own events.
What was the issue with wrestling getting cut in the first? Like, why what was the justification?
I think it's just personal preference based on the IOC committee, which to me means politics and nothing else but stupid like.
Well, I think they're...
Was it like
because
ratings or?
Well, the argument is that it's so traditional. Like, it was one of the first Olympic sports, so it should be there.
And creation.
But the other thing is that they're taking it out because they want to make room for the new things.
Golf.
Beach
Golf.
volleyball.
Yeah.
Although to be
Equestrian.
fair, beach volleyball, I'm
Flag
totally in favor
waving.
for.
Sorry?
Beach volleyball, I'm totally in favor of.
Only if
Yeah.
Brazil's hosting it.
Yeah, that's true. When it was done in Canada, it wasn't quite. Was it Canada or London? London.
London's got the 2016? No,
Yeah, they had to wear like the full body suits. No, that's pointless.
No, those are the 2012 ones. Those are the one the aliens are supposed to visit.
Oh yeah.
What? Oh, the whole
The aliens.
Who said that? I remember hearing about that. But what
Those
was...
fucking guys in the aliens. Aliens are everywhere. Aliens are this and that. That Ancient Alien show is fucking disaster, man.
It's amazing. That's
The
what
way
I'm trying
they
to say.
ripped apart Zachariah Sitchin, oh my god, amazing. This guy doesn't even know how to translate, is basically what they said. Now that all the Sumerian like transcriptions are online and like translations are online, they're like, this guy is not saying anything correct.
Well, it's all
Not
interpreted,
one
too.
bit. Pardon me?
It's probably all interpreted. Are you talking about like the...
It just seems like he wanted to write a fantastic fictional story based on nothing, and did that.
That's
Like
Translation
there's
can be
nothing.
like-
There's nothing to do with gold or atmospheres. Like there's something to do with gold in those like tablets, but nothing to do with like taking.
But
it back
are we
to
talking about the things that are
Anunnaki
like
and,
all
The Anunnaki, yes.
all pictures, like the hieroglyphic
Okay, I couldn't go
What's
through
that?
that first book. The pictures that he was
what
using.
language is it?
Sumerian.
Sumerian?
Sumerian tablets.
Is it the cuneiform? Because that's in terms of like writing, that's not even a language.
See, I don't know what I'm
It was
said that
pictures.
for.
It's like
So
hieroglyphs,
it's,
right?
it's not.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking
It's
for.
a syllabary,
which
which
is
means.
totally interpreted.
Are you guys aware of Pitman shorthand?
No, but
Okay, so basically what happens is when you're
it's a
writing,
sweet name.
or
Or-
when you're writing,
Now we both get to learn.
we have like letters.
Learning.
We have letters that we make into larger words. With cuneiform, they have syllables, so they write down what a syllable is,
Okay.
and then their language was already like pitch based, I think, and so how you translate that plus the tablets get damaged and all of this stuff, it's really, really unbelievably complicated.
Speaking of writing, I heard that it would be hilarious if someone did the YMCA dance in Chinese. And I'd like to see it.
I think you would need one of those like. Would you need to be Ganesh?
You need to get the wheel to break their bones into
It'll
the
be
proper
Shiva.
formations. Yeah,
I
Shiva.
was gonna say just get Shiva to do it.
Shiva's not real.
That'd be pretty good.
Don't lie to me.
Shiva runs the world from inside the planet.
That's where Bukkake started.
Shiva?
How did we skip Bukkake and talk about shock videos?
I'm just picturing Shiva doing a bukkake thing because that's a lot of hands.
That's fuck yeah. It's a lot of seed.
That's really offensive.
Yeah.
The fact that Shiva
Wow.
could handle 6 to 8 dicks at once.
I think it's more than that. I've seen a lot of like
Oh, like
Like that one with like each
one of those
arm's
ones
like,
where like it looks like a halo, but the halo is actually individual arms.
each hand has
It's a halo of dicks.
Each finger has a mouth on it.
hand jobs are awesome.
Halo of dicks.
Can't
I
believe
feel
the
like we
world
should
didn't
end on
know
that
last
note, but I really don't want to.
year. We already shook hands. Like we should have edited that part out.
We
This
really
is
should've-
this is
like-
for the credits rolling.
This is.
This is
Oh my god, we like. That was at 40 minutes ago?
Fuck
What
it.
the fuck?
It's good times.
It is. We
was
might have
the-
to edit some of it out.
Fuck
Just
you!
I had to talk about
Do
the
a double
fucking-
parter.
The gun.
Double parter. That's what they call them these days, right? The damn newfangled kids.
This could count as two, but we're not gonna do that. What's up?
2 45-minute segments.
Well, I was gonna say it's just like it's because I added that last part about the gun going off when Buddy was moving in Australia. I just had to tell that story, otherwise it could be.
Otherwise, you'd be where you guys weightlifting.
U of T.
Oh really?
Harvard Gym.
Oh, you're not even that far away.
No, it's not too bad.
I thought you guys would have to go up to Brampton or something.
No, fuck that.
So are you guys doing a class then?
I'm
Or
doing
He's
the
doing
class.
the
You're teaching
class.
it, or
No.
you just?
I'm just going there. It's because Olympic weightlifting is like a sport, and so this guy is teaching us like all of the technicalities of the sport and how to do things properly with all the proper form and stuff like that.
So, oh, I see.
So like, there's a lot of different ways to do the weightlifting, and like just like everybody when they're squatting and they're setting world records for squats or whatever, they have similarities in their forms. Like there's certain rules that you don't break, but they do it their own way. Like their feet go a certain wide apart. With
I
stuff
want
like
to
that.
try to do a squat and see how many of the rules I break because I have no idea how to do one properly.
And
Why don't you just bend over in front of us and we'll talk about your squat, boy.
and
Get on your knees.
I have to blur out this. Blur
Stick
out
your
my
butt out a
t-shirt.
bit more. Yeah, right.
We're not talking about this.
Yeah, I'm not wearing a jiu-jitsu shirt either.
I'm wearing a jiu-jitsu shirt.
It's a hidden hieroglyph.
Yeah.
It's the Zechariah Sitchin translation of the Sumerian tablets about jiu-jitsu.
It's microscopic, so
It
looks
looks
like
like
lines.
straight lines.
It looks like straight lines, but that's just the image quality of the camera.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? You're saying I got a shitty camera?
It's very far away.
I do have a shitty camera.
No, your camera's excellent.
No, it's like $30. No big deal.
I went.
Side note.
I went and did a photo shoot for my workplace, which was the worst idea because now my face is going to be used as clip art on the website in like a week or something.
What's the website? I'm gonna put that up so everyone can see it.
For the company that I don't work for. Anyways.
Okay, you don't have to give the website.
Yeah,
for,
it's probably not a good idea.
if you don't work for
I'm
them.
not going to say it. The place where Nick got fired from. And
So we should give out the email and then the contact address
Congratulate
and then
them.
hate mail.
my phone number.
congratulations and fuck you.
Whatever. They run a business.
Anyway,
Business is business.
Dude's camera was like 36 megapixels. And so even with like the pictures condensed afterwards, you could still make out the razor burn on my fucking neck.
Oh yeah.
It was
Well,
ridiculous.
we'll have none of those problems.
Good.
We'll have
Until the zoom in at the end.
yeah, we'll have a little bit of a blur.
I don't think I looked at this camera this entire time.
It's good. I've been looking at this thing to make sure I don't like them. First time I did this when Carlos was here, I was sitting. Some guy, some janitor douchebag. Christ, I'm gonna pay for that. I was sitting. I forget how I was sitting like this, and I wasn't wearing socks. I was like scratching my foot or something.
You were wearing underwear, just an upskirt the whole time.
No, but it looked like I was.
Sorry, Lieutenant. What was the
Looked like
question
I was
again?
like jerking off the whole time by playing with my foot. I forget how I was sitting. I'm trying to do it again. Anyways, so we couldn't do that.
Oh, Fatal Attraction.
Cut the mic.
Present it.
And that's how we're gonna do this now. We're gonna jerk off my microphone.
From a distance. It's got to be safe, right?
It looks like it's real.
Maybe I just want to step on it first. Step on the balls. Step on the balls.
Oh, it was... Never mind, I'm not talking about that.
Oh, you're talking about it now.
Plexiglass. And somebody was like vicing their nuts in plexiglass.
Oh, thank you for that.
You know what? Can we go back in time, Simon? And like,
Remember what I
to
said?
Einstein.
remember that theoretical thing you're talking about? And I was saying it's theoretically not possible because time's a construct and it just keeps moving forward anyways.
Just like balls in a vice.
I'm so happy you came here today. 'Cause I'm not the one saying shit like that.
I'm just surprised Simon got a high five for this one. That was actually it took us like an hour and a half, but we got one for him. And
Yeah, well, you guys weren't leaving until I got a high five.
apparently the
3
doors are
days
locked
later.
from the outside.
We just end up sleeping here. So you just film it until
Get the fuck out of my house.
It's like, say something. I'll tell you what to say. Just be funny. We'll high five you, and then we can leave.
We just want to talk about quantum physics and OJ.
Orange juice.
Yeah,
That's
OJ
copyright
didn't
now.
kill anybody. It was a mob hit.
I don't believe you at all. I could stab
They
him.
owed Coke money. He came there to collect. They didn't have the money. He left. He called his people. They sent someone over.
But then why would he get in shit for it?
Why would
He was there.
Yeah.
He fit the timeline that the
So,
prosecution.
no,
wanted.
you'd think if he was going to hire someone to kill people, then
He
he
didn't
would.
hire anybody. He was paid by the
Okay,
people,
wait. Start this again.
the people that take money for big amounts of cocaine, like the mob.
So
Not
OJ
saying the mob, but probably the mob.
OJ worked for the mob and went to get money. Is that
He
right?
was getting coke for the mob.
For them. Okay.
For the two innocent victims
Okay.
in the non-coke related murders, where a guy was released from prison for a very short amount of time for the same kind of slayings with a knife that they were killed with.
Really?
Yeah.
So why is that not out there? Why don't people know that?
What's his face? AC Cowlings.
Because if the glove
AC
doesn't fit.
Cowlings.
Yeah,
You must have quit.
You must have quit.
You
You
must
should have
have quit.
spat it and you just got to shove it in a little bit, knuckle first.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This glove won't go on. It happens to me all the
It's
time with your
A
girlfriend.
5-minute video of him just like trying to get the glove on and off. Just
If she was here, she could confirm that this happens all the time.
oh man,
It's just too small.
it's like molasses.
Speaking of molasses, Boston, Boston had this fucking...
Oh, yeah!
There was a tidal wave of molasses in Boston back in like 1930 something. They had like a giant silo.
Killed people.
Giant cutting yeah, but no, a giant fucking silo full of molasses, really poorly constructed because fuck Boston, and like a really hot day.
Jesus, I like Boston.
Not anymore.
And not since the 30s.
not since they fixed their molasses problem.
Anyways,
Asshole pricks.
the silo blew, and there was like a fucking 8-foot tidal wave of molasses that went through the city, and it killed 20
I think it's like
people.
burning hot too.
Yeah, like middle of summer, trapped in hot metal, explodes, fucking drowns like 15 people, scalds other people to death. But like a wave of molasses, it knocked over carts and like took out buildings. She was intense.
I wish
Remember
something more like that
Friendly
would
Rich
happen
talking
here.
about
What?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I
Friendly
watched-
Rich was talking about that, I think, or him or Matt Daly. Matt Daly would be an interesting guy to have on here.
We kind of had something like that. Like flaming shit going through all the streets. I guess they call it pride.
Oh wow!
I disagree.
Wow!
Not in a homophobic way. I just hate how they take over one of the major streets and then I go to work and I can't do anything. It's a pain in the ass.
I can't get away from my slightly homoerotic desires to see men spanking each other on floats.
Yeah, that's another thing I hate.
What's
How
up
come
with
they can
that?
get naked and walk down the street, and if I get naked and walk down the street right now, I get fucking arrested? That's
you-
bullshit.
Because you're
Norm.
heterosexual.
Yeah, it's because I don't enjoy the taste of penis.
It's just another
Lame.
way that the
Lame.
homosexual,
Yeah, I know.
another
Such
way
a
the
pussy.
homosexual agenda is taking over heterosexual rights and is making the world worse for everybody. This is why gay marriage is a horrible thing.
And why the wrestling was canceled in 2020 Olympics.
Exactly.
Like the
Why
wrestling
are we
coach said.
gonna have to cancel it?
I think we can just cut it now.
Yeah. Fuck.
I was gonna say
No.
if
No, we're not cutting it.
We're not cutting it. We still,
if the gays were in charge, I'm sure that wrestling wouldn't have been cut out.
That's the
it would
only
just
joke
be
people made about that.
Sweatier and sweatier and more
Like
oil,
we need
not
less clothes and more oil.
I think that's what Conan said. He's like, they got rid of Olympic wrestling because gay porn's on the internet now.
It comes back to jiu-jitsu somewhere.
Well,
No! No,
If you're doing it the Greco-Roman way, you don't wear any clothes. You just smother yourself
Yeah.
in fucking olive oil.
Yeah, they had a little, did they have like a loincloth
Slap.
type thing? No, there's
No. They just got fucking naked.
Huh.
Huh. Huh.
It's not even a weird
So I was
awkward
thinking about the
silence.
Pride
It's
Parade again.
Now everybody
Full
think about
circle.
this. Think about it.
Huh.
Naked dudes.
Wrestling.
Chris Brown. Jiu-jitsu.
Chris Brown Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, I broke your pin. I mean,
Mike Ditka. The Bears.
the
The Bears.
Oh man, I fucking love that part.
Yeah, see, there's so many
Chris
things from
Farley's
Saturday
so
Night
good.
Live that
Chris
you guys
Farley's amazing.
remember. And fantastic show. I'm going to leave it on that note. Don't break my buttons.
I fix it. I'm good
Yeah,
for the.
I live in a house full of
Please, you
students
can
that are
follow
like much younger than I am, and I make references to like Simpsons episodes, and people just stare at me blank faced.
Man, I watched The Simpsons last night, and their old ones are pretty like not offensive, but
They're edgy.
they're a lot more edgy than they are now, which is
That was
weird
why
because
they were good.
yeah, but then
Have you
Family
watched
Guy
any
came,
new
got
season?
edgier, and then they went back.
Family Guy was only edgy
Okay.
in like a shock sense.
Now,
Yeah.
have you watched any of the new episodes from last week?
Simpsons?
Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad. American Dad was insane.
I didn't.
Family Guy is more like American Dad now. They don't have the weird flashbacks. They don't have the weird breaks now. It's more like just
I
like
like the
continuing
flashbacks,
show.
though. But ever since South Park, worked
That was
with
their
asshole
style.
for it.
Yeah, and now they don't do it anymore. Simpsons is a lot more like Family Guy now, and that it's like a little bit more offensive, a little bit edgier, but not quite as insane.
And
so
South
all
Park's
three
still
of those
South
shows
Park.
are the same now: American Dad, Family Guy, and Simpsons.
American Dad's not really doing. Cleveland Show, we're not going to talk about. Cleveland Show's horse shit.
Yeah.
I think he just want to monopolize Sunday night.
I don't think Bob's Burgers is going to get them that monopoly.
They
want.
didn't they get canceled and come back?
Bob Burgers is on this week. I didn't think.
Yeah,
that
I thought they
far.
left for a bit.
The voices are fantastic on that
I
show.
love Bob's
but-
Burgers. It's actually
yeah.
pretty good.
But not, it's not as good as American Dad or Family Guy was.
No, but it's a good show. Like I watch it. But like the
Thanks to
first
my
one,
sponsors at American Dad
yeah,
and PepsiCo.
Pepsi Coke. Ooh,
You make
Can't
it sound like
Dave
Mexico.
Chappelle.
PepsiCo.
And my
From
friends
Pepsi.
down in PepsiCo.
Pepsi Company.
I thought they said Pepsi and Coke.
Yeah,
So
well, I
Dave
was
Chappelle
sponsored
got-
by Coke last
Dave
time.
Chappelle did sponsorships with
Could be
both of them.
sponsored by cocaine.
That'd be amazing.
Columbia sponsorship.
The entire
Cartel.
nation.
Yeah.
You're on the flag for some reason.
Why is Nick on this flag?
Two
We
thumbs
learned
up,
not to
big
question
smile on
it.
his
Number one
face.
customer.
Why is he covered in whiteface? Oh.
That's racist. They do a soft shoe.
Yeah, minstrel show. With whiteface.
Bamboozled. Hoodwinked.
Damn.
I was just talking about that recently.
Oh God, did I hear menstrual?
Minstrel song.
Minstrel.
Minstrel.
Not menstrual.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
Let's-
bit more offensive than menstrual.
Let's menstrual not be the segue into where we're about to go. Let's talk about something else.
We gotta leave.
Let's talk about that.
All right.
So
Simon, once again, it was a pleasure having us on.
real this time.
Jits
Yes.
Monkey.
Jits Monkey. Finally, number 1.
good meeting you, sir.
Hopefully you guys didn't say anything that you want to take back, because god damn it, if I have to do this again, I'm going to kill somebody.
Only everything.
We didn't talk about band or touring, so we might come back sometime.
I'd love if you guys came back. I'll try not to be hungover, and we can actually, I'll talk more.
He was drinking last night too.
Well, it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Were you with a lady? I'm just going to
Yeah.
sit here and pretend that you guys aren't getting your shit
No, I was
together.
with a lady. I drank. We finished off. We finished off like a bottle of wine, and then I woke up at like
Me too.
11 today to Nick texting me like, "Hey, we're gonna go to the gym in an hour," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what's gonna happen." And then we
So much
did, and it
licks.
turns out it was woman's only hour.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
That's-
don't let you in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not as good.
It's sexism. It's the feminist
Let's-
agenda taking over.
Before you
oppress men.
restart the hour. Can we get a zoom in on that?
You can't zoom with my computer.
Time goes by.
Just
gonna sit here and-
the object closer to the camera.
I don't really know how to end this, so
Just show 10 minutes of the hour.
All right. I wish I had credits or something.
I was gonna say you need like one of those closing animations.
I got nothing.
Can you just hire a midget to dance in front of the camera while we're talking about us leaving? Or?
Yeah, I wish.
Okay, so the squat form should look like this. Let's put this in a pile. Can we just get a shot of the alcohol quickly? Can I turn those?
Yeah, turn away.
Don't turn away.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, crazy uncle. I've never even heard of that.
What is it?
I have no idea. I've never heard of it.
What's great? What are you reading?
Do you have a booze here called Crazy Uncle?
Let's drink it.
Drink all the booze.
Crazy Uncle.
Yeah. Shit.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
This is
Buy
crazy.
these.
Oh, vodka,
Yeah.
orange, rosemary, and maple punch. What the?
Have you seen this guy? We show this.
Das Boot.
Seen
Was
what's
this
this?
it?
Whoa! Oh yeah, I saw those.
It's like a liter.
Yeah, it's the 1 liter.
It's pretty good.
We're gonna try some
How
of
that
that
feels.
the neon green thing.
Yeah, can we try some Epsom?
That's what it is.
That's
Yeah.
Perfect pre-drink.
Let's
uh,
make
Who's,
pre-work.
Wait, where are you going?
You got cups.
No, just drink it out of the bottle like a man.
Don't
Is
forget.
that how it works? Actually tastes good.
It's not bad, eh? It's kind of like
No, actually,
licoricey. 70%.
I'll tell you when the woodworms start to eat my insides out.
Just don't dodge any fairies on your drive home.
Hit all of
Not
My
your
name
drive
is
home.
Farah.
All right,
All right.
it's over.
All right, thank you very much. I'll see you
Hang up.
tonight at Jiu-Jitsu.
Nope, I'm working.
I'll see you.
See ya, bitches.